Good morning.
A little discombobulated, but I'm good. I'm good. Welcome everybody to our P2Ps in the podcast this morning, which is we're gonna have a really good show this morning because this is something that's like very important and the timing is perfect. So Gray actually chose this topic this morning. And like I said, it's a perfect topic, and we want to kind of like go into it and talk about some things that we need to be consider. I wish Elias could see him. Oh, he went back in there. He's trying to. All right. I'm not messing with you. I'm just here doing my job. My green tree
Hope
python.
everybody had a.
It's like looking at me like, why are you here?
Because you need to feed that thing.
So good morning, everyone. Let's start with that. Let's see who's already in the chat. I had to put
Good
my
morning. Hope everybody had a good holiday last week.
Ain't no way. Keys is the first. Hey, bro. He said, I'm ready for the early morning shenanigans. Yes, because Dre's card has expired. His no trouble from me card expired midnight on Saturday.
You know I want all the smoke. Always. All day, every day.
Oh, Bosa, good morning.
You know we was talking about before we got started. You the one was like, I ain't messing with you.
Look. So I'm not. So the first question I get this morning is about my sister. So just like I tell them when they're in my chats and asking me about people, there's certain things that as long as you're not married, I cut it off. If you're married, then if you want to be an infidel, it can't be through me. So I cut that off right away. You single, you know how to find her. That's all I'm going to say. But
I just asked how she was doing. That's it.
That ain't how you asked how she was doing. That is not how you asked. But okay. Good morning, Candy. Fool. Good morning, Rock On. No drama this Thanksgiving. Only had to feed 3 people, including myself. Oh, that's awesome. So we kind of never went back to our normal Thanksgivings here after COVID. So I love cooking less. I still have to cook because, I'm married to a country man. So he ain't going for that. We ain't cooking Thanksgiving. So, but I can just do it on a smaller scale because my brothers used to come up for a whole week. And I used to have to cook. They from the South. So I used to have to cook like I'm cooking for a whole zoo. And haven't had to do that. So it's always good to have a peaceful Thanksgiving. Or a day off, period. Like, this is good. Shut up, Dre.
Oh, I'm offended.
Shut up.
Go look at Warforce Moore's comment. I'm offended.
I'm coming. Elias. Hey, Elias, your boy Dre saw. Your boy was in red form when I came in here this morning. And he's still kind of in red form. He never sits on this middle perch. But I'm going to say, if y'all watched my last video with him, and if you watched me from the beginning to where me and him at now, he is a lot better. I think it's me and not him at this particular point. I just don't trust it. But he's a lot better. He be trying to act like yours a little bit, like acting like he got some sense. Good morning, Jeremy.
This nigga always got some sense on camera. Now, did you see the comment Jeremy left?
I gotta go through that. I'm going on vacation this week. Oh, so I can actually tune in. That one?
Oh, no.
I'm still going. Wait a minute. I want to make sure I say hi to everybody.
You skipped his first one.
I didn't. The good morning sis one was the first one.
He said good morning. Y'all starting some shit early this morning. He said good morning, sis and Dre. Why I can't be family? You know what I'm saying?
You could have put yourself in there. I was just saying I saw that one. I saw when he said good morning, sis.
You know what? I don't like your hair. You already.
I love my hair. You don't. You just the hater. See. You don't like the fact that I can
don't
just
don't make me take these locks out of braid. Don't make me take these locks out of braid. We'll have a hang time competition.
Oh, so this is the thing. when my hair was locked at this length, it's long. It's long now. Just that I have that good curly, kinky curly hair.
I think it's the glasses.
You know what?
Okay.
You want me to be able to see? I will be having on my glasses. I'm not putting in contacts to go right back to bed after this. You will leave me alone.
Glasses make
Good
you look like a
morning, Ray.
Marvel
Let me go
villain.
through a ray of sunshine. Good morning, Ray. If your baby girl with you on her way to school, I don't know if they're back in school, tell her we said hey. Jeremy said, what's up, chat? It is so weird to see Jeremy in here this early. That's awesome. Craig, I have to make Craig blue. Craig is new here. Craig's Catfish Cave. If you're not new, that's the first time I'm recognizing, so don't shoot me. But I will make sure that you are blue. I don't ever remember making you blue, so I'll do that. I was trying to leave DMX alone. He started with me when I came down here. Good morning, Emilio. Thank you. See, my brother said he likes the head. You know,
that's just, hey.
He likes that. He knows how that good Cuban hair can go. One day it's this way, next day it's this way, next day it's that way. That's what I love about my hair, y'all. Dre's
I'm gonna let you have that one.
I can take my hair from a little bush to way down my back to these little swizzle swirls.
Little bush.
Natural. Team natural. Or I can braid it back and put my wigs on. I can put my weave in. I love it. I'm flexible like that. You know, my husband's life is like a box of chocolates. He never knows what he's gonna get. So
He gonna get diabetes.
Dre, you my bro too. Carpet love. Oh, see, he gave you some individual love. You didn't have to, Jeremy, but it's okay.
I appreciate it. The
another ray of sunshine. Hi, Kai.
Lucas Landon Royal. What's going on, bro?
Ambassador. That's Bosa. T is here. T must be off. My brother is in the house. If you did not see the interview with T, y'all can go look at it. It was my last interview I did on Reptiles and Cocktails. You know, anytime I try, again, these are people you talk to every single time, but I try to get into things that you people don't know about an individual or family or their time in the hobby and things like that. So I love doing what we do. I think it's a lot of fun. And for some of us, it's just so natural. It's not, what are you talking about? It's not rehearsed. Dre, I just saw Kato on his way to 7-Eleven. Probably.
That's how, you don't even know what he's talking about, do you?
Yes. Kato? Yeah. Oh, Poseidon is who I'm thinking about, the Cayman.
Kato is a whole snake, man.
I know. I remember now. That's the black and yellow one. No, because
Kato is my blood.
You got too many damn animals.
My black and yellow one is Khalifa. Black and yellow, he got a whole...
Oh, yeah. Well, who the hell is Kato?
My blood python.
Oh, that's why I don't know. That's why, because, you know, I'm not...
So, hold up. This is a teachable moment for the people. This is a perfect example, because last week, Nicole said, I don't be watching all her stuff and don't support her. If she didn't watch my story yesterday, she would know what that comment meant.
Well, I ain't got time to watch all the stories. I was doing my own yesterday.
But I got time to watch all the podcasts. You know what?
No.
I don't like the glare in your glasses, lady. The glare in your glasses.
You don't watch them all. You barely watch them.
A whole podcast versus like 3 stories.
You don't have to watch a whole podcast. I'm talking about my videos. My videos.
I do watch them.
Okay.
People be killing. Just because I don't comment don't mean I don't watch it.
Anywho, you should be commenting. T-Keys, can you please give Dre the reason why he should comment, what he's supposed to be doing when he watched the video? Even if we just say 2 words, we comment.
Listen.
You know it helps the algorithm. You be wanting people to comment. You tell people to comment on yours.
I don't need no YouTube etiquette. I got this.
Well, I just want your etiquette to apply to mine so I can get to where you are. All right.
Whatever. I've been on YouTube.
Etiquette to me?
I've been on YouTube longer than most of y'all on here. I don't care.
Right, but I'm saying still that don't mean nothing.
Anyway.
Hold on. That don't mean nothing. There is someone in the chat by in a year had superseded many people who was on
I'm
YouTube
sure.
longer.
I run into a lot of them.
Okay. And we coming for you. We don't care how long you've been here.
Come for me. I'm coming
Emilio
right back.
It's going down today, brother. Yes, tonight at 9:00 p.m. on MJ Trap Talk. Yes, Emilio will be on MJ, which is pretty dope. I'm loving to see, MJ reach out to some really dope breeders who are not, trying to be out there like that. Although Emilio is doing 100 clutches, I don't know why, he don't think he's out there like that. But anyway, he's going to be on a new breeder edition, although he's not a new breeder. And when I tell you guys, go to his Morph Market. He got some fire animals, already, still creating, still making his masterpieces and all of that, but he has some fire animals already. Check it out. Blade, baby. Thank you, Elias. Thank you, Jeremy. That's a good one. It was a couple things that, we wanted to elaborate more on that we just got caught up into the conversation, but don't think it's the last one. Actually, what you're going to see is at least starting in this year, because I was very, I didn't want to overwhelm people with the usual suspects because we do so much together. So I'll pull out one of the usual suspects at least once every other month or once a month until, I expire through all of them. And get you guys on the show so we get to know them a little better, because we always like in there with them watching the snakes, talking about genetics. But I think what's very important is that people know who we are as well, as we try to grow the hobby, so people understand that snake people don't look weird. Some of them do, who snakes called Khalifa, but other than that, we're not weird looking people. We are super dope people.
I don't like the glare in your glasses. You don't get enough talking shit.
I can't see without them. When I tell you I can't see, all I can tell you is that I'm on screen because I know it's me, and you have on a yellow hat and a white shirt.
Whatever. That's why you're like a Power Ranger villain with the glasses.
I'm serious.
I'm getting tired of talking shit. We ain't even got to the topic.
Okay, we gonna get there. I have to go through the chat.
Morphin time.
Can you be grateful for our people who must be off today, who are here super early in the chat? So I just want to make sure. Angie has a show tonight too. Isn't this Mom Juice Monday?
I'm grateful for all the people not talking shit.
Hey, Luke. Luke said, "What's up, Nicole and Dre?"
What's going on, Luke?
First, but he still acknowledged you. Thank you, Luke.
You can be first. You older, way older,
and cuter. I drink water.
Like 30 years older than me.
Yep. I literally almost put your skin next to mine.
Girl, you're 19 years older than me.
Put your skin on the screen. That's even before I actually, put my little moisturizing soap on this today.
I'm not even gonna say what I'm not gonna say what I want to say.
Bam. Don't be talking about my age.
If I'm holding it back, it's bad.
Oh, Keith's actually at work. It must be quiet today.
He's also always at work at his desk.
Well, he was the first one in the chat, and he's still here. No break. That's awesome.
I ain't saying there's nothing wrong with it. Dang.
Did somebody say good morning? Oh, that he said it's spicy. Because so last week was very nice, Jeremy, because he held it down for me, so I could not come for him, and it was no reason for him to come for me. But we back on. This is how it normally goes at some point.
Because Nicole
The funny thing is that this is how our regular conversations go.
Because Nicole, this is how she acts for me. This is because Nicole's full of shit, and we both woke up on time. So and I got a little bit of liquor in this cup. So.
Wait a minute, why this early?
She said she coming for you. Man, ain't nobody worried about Nicole with her bent up water bottle. She stepped on that.
Wait a minute, hold on.
Look at her.
I got it though.
I was trying to get in her pants this morning. I
got it.
I hear you.
See, I love me some Cool Ranch Doritos.
You
and
heard?
Alcohol early in the morning.
Sponsored today.
Hey, All right. Antoine, everybody off today. It's Thanksgiving. It's Thanksgiving week for sure. Antoine is in the house. Hey, Antoine. All right. Okay. All right. So that's everybody. Good. So cool. So let's start. So since this is Dre's topic, do you want to start, Dre, or would you like for me to start?
You can start. Ladies first.
Whatever. So today we just wanted to touch on winter preparation for your animals. Many of you in the chat or your masters at this, but of course, when you have many animals like we do, there is multiple levels of preparation that you have to do for different type of animals. So after doing this 32 years, I am fortunate to never had to lose an animal to any type of winter storm, any type of winter related incident that actually caused me to lose animals. 2 reasons. Maryland is good for something. If we have something happen electrical here, typically it's a big deal. This place runs off of electrical. A lot of people can't get on trains and things like that. So it's really cool when you live somewhere where they also depend on the electricity. So we're pretty lucky there. One of the things that being a reptile owner that I never did is I've been doing this for 32 years. We never moved into a place that was electric only, and we never moved into a place that ran 100% off of gas or anything like that. We always like gas and electric, and I'll explain to you later why I think that's very important and something that people need to consider if you have multiple reptiles when you're looking for a place to live. Whenever you choose a place with pure electric, you're setting yourself up for failure. So we want to kind of like talk about some things. I'll just give a few tips that I use for myself, and I'll start with that. I have a backup supply of everything. Even for lizards who are cricket eating lizards for the most part, or prefer crickets over any other insects, I particularly make sure that my lizards have a backup of mealworms. Always, mealworms is going to always be in our refrigerator. That's just on point because I can store them. They last a long time. I just cycle them out. I bring them out every 4 to 5 days, let them eat. If I'm gonna feed some of them off, I feed them off. If not, then I put them back in the refrigerator. But I do let them come out and eat because you want to make sure that your animals are getting gut-loaded food, especially in the wintertime. You want to make sure they're getting gut-loaded food. Secondly, I keep even like for the larger lizards who need like real high temperature basking lights, like I have probably about 10 of these in my cabinet next to me. Let me move it over this way, move it that way. There we go. So I have about 10 of these, and I just ordered these off of Amazon. Most of my reptile stuff I never buy from a reptile store. I'm that terrified of mites, and I truly believe that if you're going into a reptile store, and even if you're buying something as simple as lights, you know, if mites are in that store, one little mite can come home. So I try to do everything and just order it off of Amazon or directly from Petco, or I don't really order PetSmart online, but Petco online. And even if I need backup lighting for some of the smaller lizards, I keep like 10 of these, which is like a day and a night, just as a backup, because you never know what's going to happen. Armageddon could happen. My animals just want to make sure that I give them the best chance of survival ever. Now, one of the things that for the ball python breeders that I use, and this is something that gives me comfort. You guys know that I travel quite often, me and my husband, and I travel with no worries. One, because my son is like a master keeping these animals just like I am, and my nephew is very supportive as well. But it's certain things that I just have to see with my own conscience. And I have a camera on every animal, and I think I've showed you guys that before. So every single animal, if I'm not here, I have a camera that faces them. My favorite camera to use is the Wise and the Little Smart. The Little Smart is, I think, just a little bit more techie. So if you're a real techie person, you will really like that because of the things that you can do from when you're away. Like one of the things I love to do on the Little Smart is if my son or my nephew is in one of the snake rooms and they looking at something too hard, I'll come over the mic, and I could be in another country. I'll come over the mic and I'll be like, "What's wrong?" And they just be looking at like, "Damn, like did you just come over the mic?" But if you standing there for that long, I want to know what's going on. And sometimes it's just, you know, we just checking them out, seeing what's going on. But I'll just use this as an example. I'm not in this room right now. I'm in another room. And don't know if you guys can see it, but this is one of the Wise cameras. And this actually, let me see. There you go. This is scanning a whole nother room in the house. And each room, that's where you can see a lot of my ball python. That's my ball pythons in that room. So all of the racks for the ball pythons is there. If I move this camera to the right, I can actually see that Herbstat on the top to make sure those numbers are good. And it just gives me comfort. If you turn it the long way, let me see if I can do it this way on my phone. For some reason it's not going, but you can also turn it like, I don't know why it's not doing it right now, but you can turn it the long way and you can see a wider view of it as well. I have that in my water monitors, my tables. So even the ones that's outside, I can see exactly, like, this is Gigi's enclosure. And one of the things I love about being able to do this, guys, is that if I'm away again, Michael might be playing the Xbox, right? And might not realize that Gigi's basket light went out. And Tegus need their basket light for the amount of food that they eat. So does your water monitors. They need to be able to have those high 150 degree, 135 at minimum to literally properly digest their food. Can they digest less than that? Absolutely. But you run into giving them bacterial diseases in their belly. And that's why, a lot of people lose their animals and don't realize. People do not invest appropriately sometimes in the right basking temperature for that particular animal. And that's very important. What the Ackies need is even more than what the tables need. The Ackies like 160, or you can take them up to 175 direct basking. So this is only 250 watts. It's not going to give you 250 basking spot. That's too hot. But it's definitely going to give you that 175 for your Ackies, depending on where you put it, or for the water monitors, theirs is a little bit higher, closer to the heat, and they're basking right underneath of it on some concrete or something like that that holds heat anyway. And then for the ball python people, like I said, another thing that we like is the sensor push. What I love about the sensor push, and I have like 4 extra of these. What I love about these is you can get them off Amazon. They're not that expensive. I think they was like $40 something a piece, if that. And again, when I'm away, this is on my phone, and I can just look at my phone, and it tells me if the humidity is too high. It tells me if the heat is adjusted too high or low, but so does the Herbstat. The Herbstat should be beeping in here and telling my sons and them. So if I'm looking at this camera, I can hear that too. So that's something else to consider. So for me, the most important thing is if you have all of those things, extra food, extra light, extra heat, because you don't know if it's a snowstorm. And sometimes in Maryland, you can have a snowstorm that shuts down the stores. And you don't want to be, oh my God, the light just went out. Amazon ain't bringing you no basket light. And most of the times, if the stores are shut down, the streets are so bad that your girlfriend or your homeboy is not going to be able to bring you one either. So you just want to be prepared in that way. And for me, most importantly, when you have a lot of space that's held by animals, you want to have some type of generator for your home. Every home don't need the same type of generator. The one that we have it costs, because it's a big house, and they are very expensive, but you can finance them. So let's say, for instance, if you don't have $11,000 to put down to pay for a generator, you can put down $3,000 and finance the rest. I don't recommend financing anything. It's just not the way that I believe in life. But what you want to do is at least make sure that you have a generator that is working enough to cover where your animals are. So there are some generators that you can get that can cover just a specific square footage of your home. So I tend to think that those are more complicated to operate. Like if something goes off now, the generator will just kick on. So to each his own, but at the end of the day, you want to make sure your animals are covered. We've seen what can happen in Texas, in Texas, and no one thought that could ever happen in Texas. And I'm telling you, it was heartbreaking to see people posting like, I lost all of my collection. I mean, this is big breeders. This is, common folk. It was really sad. to see that. So one of the things that I learned from that incident though was a lot of people in Texas, I do not like heated seats in vehicles. Every vehicle that I bought since 2018 had heated seats. I particularly don't like leather seats, but I did that not for me, but I did it for the animals. So I have a vehicle I can drive that does not have those seats, and the truck in the Mercedes has the leather seats, and that's mainly for the animals. Even if I had to transport them, for example, to the vet in the winter, it was really cool to say, okay, let me just put it in the tub and sit the tub on the heated seat, and my animals are good. And I learned that from the people who suffered in Texas. Like there was some people who was really smart. Well, my car got heated seats. I'm gonna go sit my animals in the car, turn the car on, open the garage so there's no carbon monoxide issues. And they ran their vehicles until the gas went, so their heated seats can cover the animals. I thought that was a pretty dope tip. It's something that I never even thought about, right? But to see people go through things, I picked up a lot from, what can I do different to make sure that if we're in that situation, it doesn't happen. There are life events that can happen, of course, that can put, none of these things could work. You know what I mean? Like if you ain't going to have some powder for 2 weeks, we never know when that can happen. But you want to be the best prepared that you can for things that actually has happened or things you heard of or things that we know can happen. We can be in Maryland without power for a week. It happened one time when we had a hurricane a few years ago because we prepared for snow and shit. We ain't prepared for hurricanes like that. So you can go like a week without it. So I try to keep enough supplies that I don't have to worry about it even if we without power for a month. But at some point you lose resources. If the gas went out the car, you want to lose resources. So that's just some of the tips that I have. Dre, you can go. I know I took long, but those, because all the animals that we have, there's different things that I have to put in place. My group in the chat has those different animals. I have the ball python rats, and I never even thought of the sensor push until I started breeding ball pythons. I didn't need this because all the other tools would have worked for the animals that I had and how it was set up. So. Shoot.
Oh, okay.
I can't stand
you. I was making sure. I was just making sure.
I'm done for now.
I didn't want to interrupt the lady. But yeah, so here in Ohio, it gets brutally cold around like January. December is not too bad. I mean, it's chilly. It ain't horrible, but so usually what I do, I seal my windows in my reptile room, and that naturally takes away a lot of my issues. Um, but again, we have winter storms here. They're not always bad, but every couple of years or so, we'll have a crazy snowstorm where my little ass can't even walk through it. I gotta.
A regular day in Columbus in the winter is cold as hell. In your garage is cold as hell. That's one of the coldest damn places ever. But go ahead.
Hell yeah, you can't even light a cigarette out that bitch. But the sad part is the snow here isn't the problem. It's the cold and the ice. That black ice is a motherfucker. But so yeah, I seal my windows. Everybody's heating device goes up, a few temps just to make sure everybody's staying warm. I use a space heater. I usually only run the space heater in the daytime now because I don't feel comfortable running it while I'm asleep. But yeah, and then for the snowstorms, we have a generator. So those are probably like my main things that I'm doing. But I will tell you, like in the wintertime, I'm consistently checking temperatures with the temp gun. I'm checking my thermostats because the thermostats are working a little harder than normal because you bumped up that temperature. You're running the heat tape a little longer, the heat panel, the bulbs, whatever. So like Nicole said, I also have my own little stash of bulbs that I use just because it gets crazy cold here. And if you cold, your reptiles most certainly are cold. So I try to keep in mind, and y'all know I got a lot of reptiles too. And we both spend a lot of money on our reptiles. So if I lose one, I'm gonna lose my mind. So I try to do every preventative measure that I possibly can, which is why for me it's easy to just keep everybody in one room because I could damn near control that room to its entirety and make sure that everybody is warm but I can still control the different species temperatures because some like it warmer, some like, the humidity a little
Right.
different. And shoot, hell, half the time, if I get cold, I'm gonna just go sit in my reptile room. It's nice and warm. So it's a lot easier for me to control the temperatures. Uh, mm, that's really it for me, honestly. It's real simple. Sealing the windows is probably the biggest thing, and it takes away a lot of any type of issues that I may have because we get a lot of wind. It's windy as hell here, in the wintertime, unfortunately, which sucks. But once I seal the windows, I don't really have any issues. So it's really just a matter of making sure everybody is warm, but they're not too hot because certain species, the green tree python, blood python, and retrieval, if they get too hot, then it's another problem. So yeah, I mean that's basically it for me. And I start preparing usually around like October, because here October is like hit or miss when it gets freezing. Um, so still the windows around October, and that's pretty much it.
So one of the tips that you shared briefly when we was on another podcast, but I thought it was very important to mention here today is how often you change your heat tape. Now we always inspecting our heat tape on our racks. That's just something that we do naturally. But Dre actually like changes his before there is a default. So how often was that again?
I do every 6 months, so twice a year.
Yeah. So I can tell you that I don't change my heat tape every 6 months. Once a year, yes.
But you also got to remember the racks that I have were made by me, so the heat tape isn't recessed. So although I have
Okay.
smooth bottom tubs, it still bothers me because I know over time those tubs are wearing out that heat tape. So I just go ahead and change it. That way I don't run into any issues. And although hooked up to thermostats and everything, it's still one of those things where I'd rather just be proactive about it versus, just waiting for something to happen or waiting like, oh shit, well this heat tape looks pretty bad. I should probably change it and not get into it. No. So again, we spent a lot of money on our reptiles, so it would just be dumb to have, a $1,800 animal. I don't care if it's an $8 animal. It would be dumb to have a live animal and not put the extra, 5-10 minutes into making sure that this animal is safe. So yeah, swapping
Especially
out
in
heat tape.
situations when you're not home. Like, fortunate for
Exactly.
me, somebody's typically always here unless we just out for a day, But if you're not home or you're working 8 hours a day and something happens, and I know like some of us get stuck at work, some of us have jobs where you're stuck at work. Um, those things, those measures give you that extra comfort. Like for me to be able to see my animals wherever I am, because a lot of times too, you can read your animal just by how they're moving. Like
Hmm.
if, example, if this green tree python is surfing, and it's not nighttime and he's not looking for food, I'm immediately going to go and make sure everything's okay is in his enclosure. That's just not normal behavior for him. Normal behavior for him is being perched somewhere chilling. Um, if you're I'll use your water monitor. If you see that the water monitor, that's another example. If you have a water animal, you have to have some type of heating mechanism in the water. The ambient temperature shifts regardless of whatever lighting elements, heating elements you have in your enclosures for your animals who have water. When you adjust your ambient temperature in the wintertime, I run my house about 79, 80 regardless. It's not ideal for every part of the house, but it's ideal for my animals. And that's what it is. Everybody else can put on pajamas if they need it, take off a layer, whatever you got to do to adjust. My animals can't do that, and my family understands that. So 80 is where my thermostat is set all the time. But I can tell you, if it gets real cold, like in the room that I am now, this is where most of the retics are. If it gets real cold outside, that ambient, even though it's set, may shift down 2 or 3 degrees. And 2 to 3 degrees can make a difference with your animals. Like it doesn't make that much of a difference for us, but it does with the animals. So for the water and you have to have some type of heating system. Like, so I have a heater that's in there and I have it set to where I want his water to always be. So we found the sweet spot with Larry. Larry likes his water to be about 80. Nothing less much and not too much more, because he likes a big difference, I guess, in his normal ambient and his water temperature. I don't know. I'm not a water monitor. I just pay attention to what he likes and how he spends more time in it based on that. So that heater, if that temperature drops, immediately kicks on. And then once it's at that set temperature, it has this internal thermostat, it turns off. If, for instance, Larry adjusts that heater where he adjusts where any part of it comes out of the water, that thing beats like it's a damn fire. And I know to get up, regardless what time it is, to make sure that I make sure it's adjusted right or put back, whatever.
A burnt heater will make you think your whole house is on fire the way they smell.
Yeah. And Jeremy, I actually been to Jeremy's house. Jeremy has one of the best wood stoves, like the old fashioned wood stoves, and those can heat up a whole level. We know that. Like, you know, if you ever went to grandma's house in the South way back in the day, those were the best fireplaces to me. You know, that's what I call a wood stove. It's a fireplace as well. But if you have a fireplace, having an electric fireplace don't help you if there is no electric, but having a gas fireplace does. Now, the risk of a gas fireplace is you have to make sure you have the proper carbon monoxide detectors, and we have them plugged in on every level. If you decide to turn on a gas fireplace. The other thing that I would say for y'all, anybody who has State Farm as your homeowner's insurance, if you own your home or have it under, or if you have car insurance with them, they will give you this free mechanism. It's called the ting. And you can put that into your wall. If there's any type of electrical surge in your wall, anything, it picks it up and it alerts you. So before a fire can ever start, you know that something is burning out. If there's a weak connection on any of your thermostat lines where that particular electrical load is, and Jeremy probably knows, you know, he's the electrical man. Jeremy probably knows what I'm talking about. The team will tell you that there's an issue on that particular load and voltage. It reads it. You can literally look at the phone and see the currency and how it's going through. It was free, but that thing is like amazing. So another way of just kind of monitoring what's going on with your electrical, because that can tell you that the electrical is about to go out. It will tell you. If you start to see that load, the voltage load start to fade, and you know you didn't change and turn off anything, that's a good sign that, you know, maybe in this snowstorm or this thunderstorm that you're about to lose power, and you can just start to prepare at that particular time. So I really like the ting as well. I try to do anything that's going to consciously make me say to myself, I did the best for my animals. Like some of these things, I remember being in Antoine's chat, and I think it was Maine, and we were talking about some of these same things, and Maine said everybody was talking about what they would do with a fire. Like there's certain animals I told y'all that's positioned in a certain place, so I know I can get them quickly out the front or the back or downstairs out the back door. Maine said, I'm getting the hell out, you know, and that's, you should, but I can tell you that I can consciously just leave, even in the case of a fire, as crazy as that sound, no different that I couldn't just leave my kids. I know I wouldn't be able to save them all, but I want to give it a good try to save the ones that I can on my way out at least. And so those mechanisms kind of help you with that. Wood stove is beside the snake room. Yep. Trey said back. Lordy, look, y'all,
what?
Dom, I'm reading y'all. I was trying to figure out what you and Antoine was talking about. I got it now.
Oh.
Dom. Ray T, good morning, brother. So just going through and make sure, because it might be some questions in here. If you have any questions, you can drop them. Amazon. Don't be messing with me, Antoine. Antoine messing with my accent that I never hear. Everybody talks about the accent that I just cannot hear. I don't know what y'all talking about. Sitting in meeting trying to multitask. Don't shout out at reptiles. They're gonna realize you're not paying attention. Ken said, not a fan of Monday mornings. You gotta be a fan, Ken. gotta be a fan. You gotta tap into reptiles and I'm sorry, 2 P's in a podcast. Ray throw something at me. You gotta tap in on Mondays, and you will enjoy Monday mornings. That's one of the things. We want you to start your morning on with some reptile education, but also some, uplifting fun. Right, Dom, he's here. Yay! All right. Monday sets the tone for the week. Absolutely. And that's why we chose Monday. Monday sets the tone for the week. So we want you to be excited about your weekend. I know it's a little, easier to say when you don't have to wake up and go to work. Because I tell you, Monday's a lot better when you don't. But even then, I used to always try to make my Mondays the best. Because I knew that my teams, their week was going to start based on how their Monday started. So always try to find a good way to bump up your Monday to get through the week. Tammy said, Ken, I'm not a fan of mornings, period. My dog wakes me up every morning before it's her breakfast time to let me know she is hungry. Well, at least she wakes you up, go open the refrigerators and eating, like my Rottweiler, we used to, when he was younger, he'll turn his whole bag over. He didn't wait for nobody. He figured out how to turn the bag over and turn the bag open, and he would just go ahead and get his own meal. X-Ray, have you tried Gold Thermometer? I haven't. Have you ever heard of it?
Govee is pretty good. I've never tried them though.
Okay. Can my dog and cat let me know it's 5:30 every morning? So Keith said, I'm walking around, coming back to my phone, so I'm going to miss a lot of the chat, but I'm listening in. No worries. We know you getting that money. Gobi is only Bluetooth, though, X-Ray said. Yeah, I've never heard of it. Like I said, I like the stuff that gives me double support, like, even the cameras. The cameras are definitely Bluetooth operated as well, but they also hardwired, so just to have that extra layer. Not much waking and baking. I actually missed wake and bake yesterday. I was doing cleaning some of the big reptile enclosures. Elias said after last year, my family got a generator and we saving for a bigger one. Because when your power went out, I had to sleep my snakes in a hotel. Yeah, I mean, but even then, so Elias, good point. There are some hotels that if you set something up in advance, who will let you in those type of situations, will allow you to bring your animals in without sneaking them in. I can tell you, being a member of Hilton Honors, that's one of the perks. If y'all don't know that, yeah, that's one of the perks. If you are, I think it's a silver member and above, and you need to bring in animals during the time of a disaster, you just have to coordinate it with them. And then they will actually provide you that service. Now, I can't say if it's every hotel. I can tell you all the hotels that we ever dealt with. I knew that's a perk with Hilton, so I'm assuming that it's all because it comes with the actual honors. So that's something good to think about. Dominic said, I just ordered a camera. Yeah, cameras are pretty good. Like, they're not really for ball. Like, I would say for ball pythons, I don't use the camera to see what the ball pythons doing. They're in a rack. Like, I don't use it for that. Not for those. My pet ball pythons do have, that's because they're in a room with other snakes that there's a camera there. But where I like to have that camera fixated is that I can monitor who's coming in and out of that room, and I can monitor what that herd stats say, just as an additional backup to the sensor push. So, but anytime you have animals that's not in your same location, a camera is a must. Like, if you're not in the same area of your house, like for me, there's no way that those animals that's built in the garage that I could be comfortable knowing that they're there. Good morning, handsome. My grandson just woke up. Say hi.
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 His eyes ain't even open. Babe upstairs in the room. Go upstairs with Babe. Go get Babe in the bed still. You want to go get Babe? No, he upstairs in the bed.
I gotta have a camera regardless, because we travel into different shows, or even if I just step out for a minute, I want to make sure that everybody is cool and kosher. So Whether I wake up and look at these reptiles every day, I still got a camera in there. Multiple.
Tammy said I have extra heat mats, cheese, yep, extra cheese, DHPs. I have the unit heat packs, insulated boxes. Smart. So that's another thing. Insulated boxes is a good way to prep. Or even if you make your own box and insulate it yourself, that's one of the cool things about the garage. My husband insulated that whole garage door. So the temperatures don't really drop as bad as it could if it wasn't insulated. But insulated boxes is very smart. So let's use, for example, for us who has these great big old snakes, right? Even if you talk about the cars, even if you got 3 cars, you can't fit all of them in 3 cars to keep them heated on the seat. But if you had an insulated box and you could actually, like say for instance, you have that wood burning stove that Jeremy has, you can sit that box near the wood burning stove, and that insulation will keep your animals heated as well. Even if you have to like cycle them out, move one from away from the fire, one a little bit closer, that's really smart. And the containers or bags to put my reptiles in, so I keep those too. I have a whole bunch of bags. For the retics though, I just use it's like they're not even bags, they like almost like big potato sack type of things. But for the regular snakes, I have a bunch of bags because I could literally put them all in a bag, put them in a box, whether it's insulated or not, put them in a car. And then if I could travel, like say if my mom, if I say, Mom, I gotta come there because she got the power, that way the animals are in one big tote at least, and it doesn't freak somebody out who don't otherwise deal with a bunch of reptiles. They won't see a whole bunch of reptiles everywhere. And I have 6 months worth of feeders. So yeah, feeders are something that I just stock up on. Like even now, where people are finding shortages, most of my animals eat frozen thawed. Like even every animal I have, I try to get them on frozen thawed. The moment they take frozen thawed, they never see live again. So that's a good thing to do, because you got to think about it if you're breeding your rats. Let's say, for instance, if you can't get shipped food for them, you got to store that as well. And Missouri is great big old bags. That's what I choose to use. If you use apples and, different type of fruits and vegetables, you got to store up on those as well, because you have to function. And that's one of the things I love about people who look at this as a hobby, but also part of like a business mindset, because your business of keeping your animals still have to function, even if there's a natural disaster. Dre, go ahead. You was going to say something.
No, I was going to say I stock up on feeders regardless of the time of year. I always keep feeders. I'm not even breeding, and I'm at a whole freezer and a half of feeders, and I'm a full deep freezer and a half of feeders, and I just put another order in. Just because I hate when the winter comes here, I hate having to leave. I work from home. I don't leave unless I have to. So having the feeders already here and just having to thaw them out, perfect. So the less I have to do for the snakes in the wintertime as far as like getting anything, the better, because it's a hassle to deal with it. I'm not as motivated in the wintertime to want to do special projects and stuff like that. I save all that for the spring and summer. But wintertime, no, 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 no. We're trying to chill as much as possible. So I usually always stockpile my rats, and these rats is huge for the winter because it's just a lot easier that way. That's why frozen for me is the way to go. But I know if you got like 100+ snakes, you ain't trying to deal with frozen, so I understand.
Honestly, that doesn't bother me. I only feed live because I have to feed, but I have the time to. You know what I'm saying? So, but the other thing is that it's not to me so difficult to feed frozen thawed. Like the regimen that I use, I don't necessarily have to heat mine up. Most of my animals just want to take frozen thawed once they know that if I let it thaw at room temperature, I don't have to heat them up. They're going to take it. I have probably very few of them that just switched over, that you still need that heat, probably just to the head of the animal. I think that's what takes the most time, is the heating up of the frozen thawed. But again, like whether there's 100 animals or not, I just think that frozen thawed is much safer. I know people, that's a whole conversation.
That's why I do
it. It's much safer to feed that way. And when you have 100, that's where it becomes an issue. Feeding live 100 is a lot, because I'm telling you, I will freak out. I'm not leaving a rat in there with my animals more than 5 minutes. And I prefer to be able to see them, to be honest, because I will tell you, with live feed, especially the kind of animals I have, first of all, my retics and my berms, you don't ever have to feed them live. They want it, like I said, y'all heard me say before, they're going to eat whatever you throw in there. But my ball pythons and my corn snake, he doesn't care. You can feed him anything. The boas don't care. Most snakes don't care about live food. That's just the reality. I think the only snake that it really becomes an issue is ball pythons, and I think that's with the baby ball pythons. And as they get older, they will take it as well. But I do understand that some people preferences to feed live. I have to feed. I only feed live to the point that I can get them on frozen thawed, and I just feel like my animals get nice size. Like my I use the same feeder breeder. I've always used him. And Rick he supplies nice size animals. He doesn't, even in a time like now where there's shortages, he's not experiencing. The only shortage that he experienced is, I think, was the bunnies. But my animals can, you can replace the bunnies with the guinea pigs for me. But as long as you got rabbits, you got rats, you got ASFs, and he's never short on any of that. So, and he doesn't charge us an arm and a leg. Like, his prices hasn't gotten jacked up like I hear a lot of people across the country.
In the wintertime, I don't get picky. If you got a food source that my snakes can eat, I'll take it because it gets too.
Both are funny. Talking about his cold front legs.
They don't know what a cold front is. It'd be like 60 degrees, and they be down there cold with hats and gloves.
But y'all got COVID still, though. I would never forget Florida. I would never forget Florida for doing that to me. I avoided COVID all of those years. Go to Florida.
When I come down there next year, I'm gonna make sure I'm prepared. I'm gonna have on a hazmat suit. They got a little bit of everything down there. We're not gonna get started on Florida because we talked about Florida a couple of episodes ago for like 30 minutes. We know what Florida is. Florida's a problem.
Yes. So Ken said where you at, Ken? Where you dealing with snow already? Massachusetts?
Could be Colorado. I know Kansas City had some.
Colorado, because I think AJ and said they had snow the other day as well.
Yeah,
the funny thing is that
he's in Pennsylvania.
Maryland doesn't have bad snowstorms like we used to. Like, we might have one recent snowstorms like November through March easily, and sometimes into April. Our winters have been warmer, honestly, and I think that's why we've had more issues with like hurricanes and stuff. Ken says, is there a way to see a list of your followers on YouTube?
Yes, you gotta do it from the computer.
Okay, because I never look. Because
you gotta do it from the computer or actually go to youtube.com and log in. But I just stuff like that, like looking at my analytics and stuff, I just do it on my MacBook because you see everything. You can see all of your subscribers, and then also you can see the ones that recently subscribed to you.
See, I can see the numbers, but I don't really look at the people. Because what I would like to see was somebody unsubscribe so I can see who that is. But I never looked. So when y'all figure that out, let me know.
I'll be caring. Numbers are gonna fluctuate regardless.
Yeah, but I want to see who it is. I want to see if it's somebody who's actually, should not be unsubscribed. I want to see who it is. I don't care about the random person. Good morning, Sean. I got a gas furnace with a wood stove as well. When we do lose power, I can cook on that thing and keep this place warm enough to not freeze the water lines. Oh, Ken, that's another thing. This is another reason why these are important when you have animals in rack, the sensor push, because that's a sign that like if your humidity just goes spark out of the way, that's a sign that you may have some type of flooding issues. And whenever there's power loss for a long time, that is a big risk. Is the pipes freezing up. And speaking of, this is the time of the year that you should be shutting off your outdoor hose beds, shutting down, like turning them off. Like I still, if I got to turn them on, I will physically turn them on, but those bibs are shut down. So even if it's cold outside and for whatever reason, because those bibs run, typically those lines run under the house, you want to make sure that those are shut down so it doesn't cause any other type of pipe issues. Where my retics are, most of them is where my master bath is. And that is like something that I always think about if I'm not home. What if something breaks? You know, you never know. Like it's bath pipes. I'll use that example. Or shower pipes. A diverter can cause a leak that leaks down on your thermostats or something. And these thermostats are set up, they're smart. They're going to shut off so it doesn't cause any damage to your home or fire or anything like that. But this will tell you if you have a quick spike that something like that happened, or your damn animal knocked over a water bowl or something. Luke said he's in his garage with space heaters. Now, even with that, like we use space heaters. Well, not space heater. It's like a heater from the ceiling. I guess you can still call it a space heater, but it kind of like manages the ambient in the garage where the big lids, the large lids are. But that's not going to work for us if the power shuts down and there is no backup generator. So that's something to think about as well, because you know sometimes we get so comfortable thinking of like, well, you know, we got this there, and then realize, oh shit, that runs by this too. You know, that runs by electric too. So just kind of really writing out the plan. Now, I talked about this before, but writing out your plan of when something happens. You never know. Just like you have a disaster plan at work, you want to have a disaster plan at home that do the best to save your animals who can't save themselves. I truly believe, though, if it's a fire and you open up the doors to the enclosure, the retics are smart enough to find a way out quickly. I don't think my ball pythons are that wise. So same thing with power. Retics is good at letting you know that, you know, something shifted with their temperature. But, you know, your ball pythons kind of just like, you know, they're a little bit more patient with you, a little bit more trusting of the situation than your retics are. Ken said, I'm 22 subs away from eating ghost pepper ramen on a live. I was hoping to get it this week, but it's looking like next week. So if you guys haven't already, make sure that you are subscribed to Ken's channel. Ken, you can drop your link if you like, of course. Dawn says State Farm is the best. Yes, they come out with all kinds of like, well, so their mindset is that I figure they don't want to pay claims. So they try to do whatever they can to help their customers to prevent them, even down to the discounts they give. If you decide to put the little monitor in your car to show that you're a safe driver, great discounts. But I think they do that to keep you driving safer so they don't have to pay claims. I got the whole neighborhood smelling like burning wood, Nicole. Come on up. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh my goodness. So that was so funny. When I got to the breast cancer, the hotel, when we got to the Hyatt, and they had the introductory area for us. Once you got through the door, they had all these fire pits. I was like, yes! I love a fire pit. So if y'all invite me, you know, you can make a fire pit, X Big D. You can make a fire pit, and we can keep it going with all kinds of stuff in your garage. Let's see. Sean, what's good? Ray's still here. Zach, bro, I didn't see you come in if I missed you earlier. Hey, Zach. Dre is in Columbus, but he keep repping the Wolverines. Those fuckers killed my Buckeyes.
Hold up. How you in Florida and you repping the Buckeyes? And let's not forget, my family is from Detroit. Not forget that.
No, Ohio, Columbus, love them Buckeyes. That's right.
Oh,
that's the
yeah, they was sad this past weekend. It was beautiful. I was like, so y'all do know how to shut the fuck up. Oh, it was beautiful. It was gorgeous. I loved it. Every second of it. The campus was quiet. I went down there in my Michigan gear, and I was like, damn, this show ain't nobody. Look like a ghost town around here.
You mess around, get jumped. Bosa said, I'm going
I
to
keep my sidekick with me at all times. So
I was going to say, you mess around, get jumped, talk about them Buckeyes.
They ain't gonna do shit
So
down here.
Bosa, like, I thought everybody in Florida Florida did ambient. So
that's because so Florida got like diseases in the air. That's why they so like crazy down there. You can't.
They got COVID still.
They call it. He said. He said it's. He said it's flu. Listen, we're gonna talk about this accent shit, okay?
I don't hear it.
You have an accent, whether you want to admit it or not. Number one. Number two.
So what kind of accent is it? Is it country? Like what kind of accent is it?
It's Baltimore. Somebody left a comment and you said loose. Oh my God, I had to contain myself.
Whatever.
Say you.
You.
Okay, that's normal. You had to try on that one though.
No, I didn't.
Because most of the time y'all be like you. Like why do you do that?
But see, this is the thing. The funny thing is I haven't lived in Baltimore for so long. So it's weird how some people, like if I'm in DC, people pick up Baltimore. But if I'm in Baltimore, Baltimore pick up DC. So I'm like, what is it? Like what is the accent?
I don't know, but y'all say like them words that got ooh in them, I be cracking up. You too.
I think that sometimes too where you are, like where you are in Baltimore. Some people are more exaggerated. Cause when y'all say that, let me tell you why it annoys me. I can't stand the way women from Baltimore talk. People know that. I hate the way that they're loud. I just can't stand it. But a lot of the words are, I think, exaggerated sometimes, but I just don't hear it. Everybody said I have it, though. I mean, I can tell you, if I'm in DC and I say two, for example, everybody go, you're from Baltimore. And I'm like, I have not lived in Baltimore. And
it comes out, like you don't have, I got family in Baltimore. Yours isn't as bad, but it does come out. Like when you went to go say loose, I was just like,
or maybe like when it comes out when I'm like more. I don't know. I have to. When I listen to myself, I don't even hear an accent. So it's just so weird. That's like, what does it sound like? Does it sound country? Does it sound like people up north? I don't know what it sounds like.
Damn sure don't sound like no people up north. Let's get that all the way. No.
Oh, excuse me.
Sound like you on the coast and you just eating lobster and shit all day.
Shut up. I was thinking of making my snake room into an ambient temp room. Like for places that can't, I could really do that with the retails in my house because that's their temperature. They good at 78, 80. They don't want too much more than that. It's all the other animals that be like, I'm not staying here. You better turn the heat on. The monitor you showed us is in Bluetooth. Yes, everything that I have, X-ray, it's both. It's hardwired and it's Bluetooth. So I have it Wi-Fi. And I like with this one, I just have the Wi-Fi on. I don't even turn it has a Bluetooth feature. I don't even turn it on. I just have the Wi-Fi on, and then this the cameras and all of them are both. Like I can have them on my phone, on Bluetooth. I can have them, like you can hook them up even up to internal speakers into your house. Like there's so many different things you can do with those cameras. I haven't even mastered all the things that these cameras do. I just have them doing what I need them to do for right now, but they do a whole lot more than I'm using it for. And like I said, those are inexpensive. The Wise and the Little Smart probably both was only $40. And you can get different type of Wise cameras. So like
I got Wise cameras too. That's one thing I didn't say. I got Wise cameras. I like them. I mean, they're not like the top tier camera, but they're pretty efficient. They're accurate and they get the job done. So, and I mean, you can add like a little memory card to them where you can save the videos. You can go back and rewatch them. Whatever the case may be, and then like hooking it up to your phone. You can customize notifications and everything like that. So
that's why I like the campaign screen because I actually think that's better than some of my home camera. Like the vision of that, especially when you put it on color mode. Same thing with the Little Smart. The Little Smart looks just like me sitting here on this screen when I'm looking at that camera. So like it's different. You have to think about what you need it for. Right. The Little Smart I have for the retakes because it picks up. It's way more sensitive to movement than the Wise. Although the Wise is very sensitive, this is way more sensitive.
You can edit the sensitivity too, because if you put the sensitivity on the Wise on high, it's gonna go crazy. And I had to like edit it because my phone kept going off. And then another thing that I like about the Wise, which is like an update they made in the last year, I've had my wife's camera for like 5 years now. An update they made in the last year was that when there's motion in the room, it'll tell you motion has been detected. But when there's a person that comes in the room, it'll tell you a person has been detected.
Yeah.
So it definitely differentiates the different type of motion. So that's dope. So if, you know what I'm saying, you have your camera pointed at your snake cages and will say there's motion in the room, chances are it's probably one of the snakes moving around. Okay. Sorry, I just got a random message on Instagram. But if like random people be asking weird questions. But if somebody like walk past one of the cages and you're not home and you're like, the fuck going on? It'll tell you a person is in that reptile room. So I do love that about the Wise. And it's pretty easy to set up. I'm all about easy to use.
I think they're both very easy to set up. I love that feature because, again, as we always make the joke, it tells me at a certain point in this house, there's no person moving around this house.
Listen, have me thinking if I want to go in there or not, because who the fuck could be in here? But and Wise is pretty cheap.
It lets you know what to go grab. Like I always make the joke about I do not shoot shotguns. I like to shoot handguns.
But my home defense gun is my shotgun.
But let me tell you why. If you walk into somebody's house and you hear like my husband go, it scares me. It's like, oh God,
see, that ain't what you gonna hear. You just gonna hear pow because my shotgun is semi-automatic.
See, I think so. Again, I want to make sure that if I ever I'm that person who even if you come into my house, don't make me kill you. I want you to make it out. Here's your warning. Clink, clink. That's all I'm gonna do with the shotgun. Everything else is coming from that handgun.
Listen.
I'm just telling you how I am because I don't care who it is. There's still somebody's son, their daughter, their father, whoever. It could have been a father who lost his mind at a certain point. If I take somebody's life, I want to be able to say I did all I could to make sure.
Listen, and you should have thought about that before you broke into this motherfucking house.
But see, that's what
you had plenty of chances to think about that.
See, as a mother of a child who is mentally delayed, and knowing that if those kids are not properly raised, that they can end up that person coming into your house just looking for warmth, just not realizing. And so my thing is that
it's just unfortunate, and just considering some of the things that I've witnessed myself, you just never know what people's intentions are. Because there's even people that play like something's wrong with them, and then boom. You get 3 or 4 more people behind them to come in and rob you. So I don't have the time to figure that out. All I know is I spent money on this ammo. I'm gonna get my money's worth. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. So chances are,
I'm not her.
Choose your decisions wisely.
I want to prevent it. Because what I'm not going to do is what the law requires is give them CPR. So I'm just telling y'all that now. That ain't going to happen.
I'm going to tell the judge I can't spell CPR. But I may or may not shoot in the kill. Depends on how I'm feeling. If you wake me up out my sleep, I don't care. Don't wake me up out my sleep and kill everything. But that's the one thing I don't like about being a gun owner, a licensed gun owner. You break into my house and I have to show you mercy because you broke the law. Not now. They just changed the law in Ohio, but it doesn't make any sense.
Hutch, I didn't see Hutch coming. I'm making, I thought Zach would have been, see again, like if you might be blue on reptiles and cocktails and not blue here. So let me go back to Zach there. Pat wasn't even blue on here. So Pat is blue now. Shut up, Pat. Pat said I'm 20 minutes behind on the chat. Look, it be popping and the conversation goes deep. Candy said, I love Hilton's Honest. I'm going to catch up right now.
Yeah.
It's talking jet. I was looking at these whole vlogging setups with a stand, a microphone, light, and earbuds. Oh, okay. Hi, Tim. I got to make Tim blue because I don't think I have Tim blue either. I've got gas stoves, so we good. Yeah, gas stoves are great, but if it's not wood burning, it's only going to heat up that area, like that one little area. So gas stoves are great if you have a small collection or like a rack system that's right in that target area. Again, like when you have, I don't even know how many animals I have anymore. I stopped counting. So it's hysterical to me. But I can tell you, and forget the ball pythons, just in the big snakes alone, they take up 1, 2, 3 rooms. And I have to have a bigger support system for that. The good thing is too that the bigger snakes, like I said, they can survive on Ambien. Your worms and your retics will just be just fine. It's the other animals and lizards and stuff that will have to evict themselves because they're not going to have it. Hey, Jeremy Bard.
So,
He said
Nicole,
tonight I need y'all to tap into Trap Talk and support fam. Don't forget, yes. Make sure that y'all tap in. It's going to be a good one. This is going to be a good one because this is going to be a good one. I'm just going to say that. Emilio is very educated. I think that MJ is going to be mind blown into this conversation. I guess that's going to be a really good show. Go ahead, Dre. You ready to tell me you got to go to work because I always hold you up. I'm going.
I never tell you I have to go to work. That'd be you. I've been signed off for 20 minutes.
Okay. All right. Don't say that out loud. There's a lady here in Columbus with great fetus, so I'm fully stocked.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't know who that lady is, but there's a couple of good ones. But going back to what we was talking about.
Do y'all know each other?
No,
so
not everybody in Columbus knows each other. Because it also depends on what part of Columbus. There's a bunch of like inner cities and stuff that people consider Columbus. It's not really Columbus, but
yeah, because my cousins. I lived in Westerville. My cousins always say you live in Westerville, you don't live in Columbus. Man, if I drive right down the street.
But see, that's different. That's a suburb of Columbus. We have like Hilliard, Dublin. That's like 30 minutes. People are like, I'm Columbus.
Dublin
that ain't Columbus.
Yeah.
That ain't Columbus. Westerville, literally, I'm on the outskirts of I'm in between literally Columbus and then Westerville is a school district I went to. So I can drive like 5 minutes up the road and I'm in Westerville. Right. That is still to me considered Columbus. But when you're talking Hilliard, Dublin, Grove City, motherfucker, you out of town. What you mean?
Reynoldsburg. I always joke about when whoops his Bow Wow used to say he's from Columbus. Boy, you from Reynoldsburg. That's totally different. My cousin and them lived in Reynoldsburg.
Don't nobody claim him anyway. But going back to you saying, I'm training my Cayman to be a support animal. And he gonna support me. I'm gonna train him to shoot guns. You imagine how fucked up it would be if somebody walked into my house and seen a fucking Cayman holding an AK-47? It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
And they leave it. So that's another good thing too about having snakes, y'all. That's a defense in its own. If you ever had like a contractor or something had to come in your house for something, that response is the same response that most criminals would have if you got big 18-foot snakes sitting in an enclosure. They gonna be the hell out of it. Wrong house. Ain't nothing I want in here. And they want to leave anyway. Hey, Exotic Keeper. I will make sure that I make you blue too. It said I'm late. What's good, Dre? So that must be one of your people.
Yeah, Exotic Keeper Vision. What's going on, bro?
So I'll make sure I make you blue. Let me do that now because I'm
late to this comment, so they probably signed off because you be late.
Oh no, but they'll still be by the next time. Wait a minute. For the record, y'all, Dre has the same controls that I have. He has the power. You gonna put this shit on me. Your finger works just like mine did.
It makes me log in every time. I don't remember creating a password.
No, not when you.
I'll be having to go back to the. I'll be having to go back to the email you sent.
Touch a comment right now. Are you in StreamYard?
I'm in StreamYard, but I don't. There's no comment.
You don't think you in as an admin? I need to make sure that you are doing what you're supposed to be doing the right way, because both.
So look. When you sent me the link, right? It made me put in this one-time code. I put it in, but once I ended the podcast for the breast cancer walk, and then once I tried to go back, it asked me for a login. I'm like, I didn't create a login, so I mean, I just, I'm here.
I didn't see Mike coming here either. 21st Century Mike, y'all know that's my.
Now you lying with his big ass glasses. You've seen all these people come in here.
I did not see.
You just skip it over them.
You know what? Go to. You know what? I'm not today. I'm not. You're not gonna start my money off wrong. Zach said they had a little bit of snow. Zach, are you in the mountains in Denver? Kiki, Keisha. I swear, every time that picture pop up, I look.
Look, I was gonna say, is that Keisha?
So I know it's Keisha. Like that's Keisha's twin. It's not Kobe. It's Florida, right?
Yeah, right.
Y'all gave it to me down there. Y'all did. Keisha is I gotta go back. That's our incognito one.
She look like she about 12 in that picture.
I swear it looked like a twin.
Somebody had a question about humidity.
Pat is actually smurfed already. I'm having trouble keeping humidity up. I run an air purifier. Stop running the air purifier in there, but I'm struggling keeping humidity above 30. The oil furnace is taking the humidity down, way down. So what are you running the humidity for, Ken? Like, what kind of animal is it, and what kind of enclosure are they in? The air purifier purifies the air, which pours humidity.
If he's struggling to keep the humidity above 30, that sounds like a glass enclosure. That's the only enclosure I would think of where humidity is constantly that low.
Because like a tub will hold humidity on its
or
own.
It's just too ventilated. That's it.
That's what I say. A dehumidifier sometimes can take out more of the moisture, and you might need a humidifier. Like, when the babies had breathing problems and used to put that in, that you might need it, but it all depends on the room, because that ain't gonna work as well. And you can create mold in certain rooms with a humidifier. So
said it's rats.
Yeah. He said rats?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm reading ahead on my phone, but yeah, he said it's rats.
No, that's fine. He said rats? Mm-hmm. What is this? What kind of rat is it? Because I can tell you most rats gonna hold, well, I can tell you in Maryland anyway. Mine will be opposite. I have to position mine so the humidity doesn't stay so high. So if it's a rack, depending on what type of rack it is, that can be the issue. PVC racks, you shouldn't be having that issue with the proper tubs. Nicole Drake, Lord, let me get back to work before I get in trouble. Yes, Keisha, we don't want nobody in trouble. Vote for Patrick for Snakes and the Fat Man as 15 minutes of lame. There you go, 21st Century Mike. There we go. There we go. There we go. You can vote every day to Christmas. Vote for Pat every day. X-ray. I have a 6-foot enclosure, and humidity under the panel gets very dry quickly. The cool side is in good parameters. I have a Gobi on the hot and cool side. Do I increase the hot side humidity? So in a 6-foot enclosure, you have the luxury of making sure, are you using what kind of heating system are you using? Are you using a radiant heat panel? That in a 6-foot enclosure normally controls, it gives you different gradients of humidity. So your animal will be able to find what it needs, but you have to be using a radiant heat panel. If you're using light fixtures or anything else inside of there, that's why you're not having the humidity control. So tip number 1, if you're going to spend the money on a PVC enclosure, spend the money on a radiant heat panel. Even though Pro Products is not producing them since COVID, there's so many. Helix actually has a heat panel that works very good, just like, to me, very similar to the Pro Products one. But I have nothing against the Reptile Basics ones either, as long as you make sure it's hooked up to a proper thermostat. And when I say proper, I'm talking about like a Herbstat. Pat said he appreciates all the support. All right, Ken dropped his link. So Ken dropped his link there. So make sure that y'all tap that link, subscribe, and let's get his contest moving. X-ray, to match the cool side or just be okay if the cool side is good. I have a Peruvian BC. So boas are very much the same. Boas, first of all, I would say it's overrated how much humidity people think they need. They need the same amount of humidity as your ball pythons. Boas will find that humidity spot for them to shed. But again, boas to me are animals that should only be kept in a PVC, or if you can't do a PVC, you should keep them in a tub, because that's going to give them an ideal humidity, and it's going to maintain that, and you're never going to have a problem with shed. Like, I am not a fan of tubs, and y'all hear me say it a lot when you talk about having a great big old snake in a tub. But if you can find a tub that's 6 feet long, 8 foot long, and still 3 foot high, 2 feet high, that's better than putting it in a wooden anything or glass anything. I'm telling you, it's not about it being a PVC. It's about what gives it its ideal temperature gradient, humidity gradients.
Let me come across some 8x4x4 Christmas tree totes. It's a wrap.
I'm serious, and you can.
I'm canceling all them cage orders I just put in. I want all my money back, every fucking cent.
They don't even make those real big ones like they used to anymore.
They don't.
Hope everyone is having a good day. This community is incredible. I'm so thankful to be a part. Zach, you are incredible, and we're so thankful to have you. You're definitely very caring and supportive to everyone. It's the best, Zach. We're happy to have you in it. That's facts. Facts. Don't start talking football on me. That's his whole son. That's the only time Dre shuts up, y'all, is on. I can tell when football is on. And then he has short answers. You message him, it's not a long paragraph. It's like, yeah.
Nicole, you don't even message me. Shut up.
I
hear telling stories. If you message me, it's to talk shit.
Look at your response to me about, even when I asked you about the topic. Look at your response. Like, it wasn't long. It took you forever to respond. I normally get better attention. I can tell Sundays, but look at every Sunday, that's how you talk to me. It's facts. Receipt. Nicole, that's what you said. Receipt.
Nicole, receipt. Do you watch football?
Yes.
So tell me what NFL team plays at 11 a.m. on Sunday. Everybody knows the game starts at 1.
It depends on where you are.
But you know where I'm at.
Oh, you still where I'm at. Oh,
Eastern Standard.
You still watching the pregame stuff? Trust me. Look,
I was dealing with my daughter.
TV is on ESPN in my bedroom 24/7.
I was dealing with my daughter.
Okay.
You know what?
I'll give you that. I'll believe that.
I swear for goodness, I'm telling you.
I believe that. So Keith said, I'm from Jersey and my family is from PA, but you love who you love. Dre ain't nothing left in that motherfucker. Leave it alone. I can hear that and can't hear that.
Hey, y'all gonna leave me the hell alone, all right? What y'all gonna do?
She said ain't nothing else in that motherfucker. Oh my goodness. All right, y'all. I'm just trying to catch up on the chat. Yes, Dominique, vote with your phone. So yeah, you can vote from different IP addresses. You just can't vote the same day on the same IP address. Y'all are zombies. Shut up, Dre. You're so funny. I smurfed you, Dre. I smurfed you, Pat. Agree, Dre. You break into my house, you deserve every grain you receive.
Bingo.
All right. I'm going to go back to that is true, but I just want to be able to consciously say that if I have a chance to give you a warning, I would love to give the warning first. And that click clink is a good warning.
Your warning was when you broke into my house and I heard you. That was your chance to
not when you are the mother of a mentally disabled child. I'm telling you, I need y'all to think of that differently. I'm serious.
Are you?
Like, it's one of the reasons why I do not let my son go anywhere by himself. Like, so, like, I can a lot of times, and when you deal with a multitude, like when you see them, a lot of times that, you know, those people, you'll think they're in your head, they're breaking in their head, they're trying to find shelter. Because they're not taken care of sometimes. And they're trying to find shelter. And they don't understand all the time that breaking in through a window or a door is not the proper way to find shelter. And so if I take out somebody's disabled child as a mother of a disabled son, I want to make sure that I did all I can to make that child realize that there's another level of danger that's about to come. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that people should not come. People should not come to your house.
It's past danger that's coming.
I hope you're never in that situation.
So you saying I should just get some tear gas instead, just in case?
No, I'm not saying that at all. Like right now, where I am,
because it ain't no thing. If somebody
comes to even one of these doors, I wouldn't have no choice, right? But if I'm upstairs and I hear, like we talk about somebody messing with the animals, like you were talking about, and it says a person is being, you know, a motion person detected, I can now look at that camera and see who that person is. I can even talk through that camera because I'm upstairs and say, get the fuck out of my garage. Clink, clink. If the person don't leave after that, and you better hope it's me and not my husband, but if the person don't leave after that, then anything that happens after that, I'm good with. And I have a good conscience with that.
That's different. I'm talking.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, that's okay, but you put the scenario into play. I'm talking if I'm asleep, it's 3-4 in the morning, and I hear my door banged open or a window. We all on Call of Duty now.
No, even then, you gotta pay attention because that could be your child sneaking in or out. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's other situational awareness.
But see, again, that's different. Because if
but
I know
you just coming out blazing because you.
If I know my child isn't home, I would know not to just, you know what I'm saying? Because I know.
How many parents didn't know their child wasn't home? See, you ain't had enough children yet. Wait till your daughter get older, and you thought she was home, and she stepped out of her bedroom, and then realized that you locked the bedroom door. Then she got to come back to another door. Trust me, I had Jada. I done been through all the scenarios of she was in here. She ain't in here.
I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm gonna tell you like this with the parents that I had. With the parents that I had.
Angie, though, but see, Angie, you gangster. You have the right to be gangster. You can shoot and not have to give an explanation to anybody.
Listen, with the parents that I had, there is no way I could sneak out and they didn't know I wasn't home. So honestly, them parents probably should have been a little more involved.
This is my husband's theory. They see all them cars parked outside and they still decided to come in here. They wanted to die.
Listen.
They wanted to die. I had a good friend, someone broke into his house and he stabbed them and they survived. Dude sued my friend and won. Oh, yeah, they can. It's like in Maryland is one of Maryland has a retreat first law. The only exception is if you come into my house.
See, that's the thing is we just got rid of our retreat first law this past year. We are now a stand your ground. We are now identical to Florida. So it doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter what they're doing. As soon as they cross into your property, bang, bang, it's a wrap.
See, you can do that if they come into your house in Maryland. But even then, if you don't you still have to take a center shot. If you go for the head, you have to do a whole lot of explaining, and you also have to revive that person. See, that's where my Grammy comes in. I am not going to be able to revive someone that
They want you playing Call of Duty Warzone. Fuck that.
Oh yeah,
you come in my house.
So it's so many laws to like I said, it's in different states. Like DC is totally different. DC is totally different from Maryland. You can literally cross the line. But like that's the other part. And this is the sad part is that criminals don't have to follow these rules that we have to follow. So
that's what I'm saying. You got to show mercy. You come in my house. You going on a t-shirt, bro. That's it. I have a daughter. That's it.
But like what Hus said, because I know of a story like that too, where the person actually, the person was at the door, and the person is kicking the door. So the person thought someone was actually about to,
break in.
Not necessarily break in, but is a bigger term to it when they're trying to just kind of like ambush the house or whatever. I don't know. It's another word. But anyway, that person felt like their life was in immediate danger. So they shot through the door. Now, this person is in their home. This person, you had to cross the driveway and all of that, right? Shot the person lived and they sued them and won. The issue is that you got to wait till they cross the threshold in Maryland.
Exactly. So, and that was how, so before they changed the law, when I went to my CCW class, they basically explained, if somebody broke into your house or somebody even broke into your car, if you go outside with your gun, you are lawfully in trouble because you cannot go outside with your gun and attack somebody because although it's your property, they were outside. Now, it's a little different now. Now, before the law was changed, I was in the gym practicing my pistol whipping grips because if I can't shoot you, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. One of the two. I'm gonna do something. But now, nah, we're not doing that. Moral of the story. I don't show a lot of remorse. Like I said, my dad is from Detroit. He grew up in the 70s. So he grew up a lot different than I did. So there were certain things he's like, you can't show people remorse. So my thing is, if you make the conscious decision to break into someone's home, and I understand what you're saying, but that is a one-off situation, Nicole. I'm sure it has happened. It has happened.
It happens more than normal, though. It happens more than normal. I'm sure. With disabled and with veterans, so that's why I'm sensitive to that.
But I'm speaking, and this goes with the TikTok I just made last night. If you are bold enough to break into my house,
everybody's not being bold. Some people just being crazy. They are mentally disturbed.
It's the same thing to me.
It's not. Oh, I hope you never nested. Don't you shoot no back because I'm gonna come shoot you.
You said don't what?
Don't shoot no veteran. I'm gonna come shoot you.
Listen. That's the problem.
Hey, Melinda.
That's the problem. That's the problem. Everybody goes through something. Cool. That does not give you the right to attack or do whatever you want to do to other people. If I don't know you and you coming to me as aggressive, I have every right to protect myself. And if I have my daughter with me, I don't give a fuck who it is. I will act now and think later.
In your right frame of mind, you're absolutely right. But what I'm saying,
in my right frame of mind,
no,
that's the only type of mind I got.
You're saying that because you are in your right frame of mind. But I can tell you right now that there's a veteran out there who still thinks he's in war and he thinks your house is a bunk that he's trying to escape a gunshot that he heard down the street. Like stuff like that happens, especially if you're in like these military areas. Like I'm very sensitive to the vets and I'm very sensitive to people with mental disorders because I know that it makes you do things that unconsciously you don't know any better. And I don't want to be the person behind that trigger because you didn't know any better. Now, for the person who comes in and they do really, really mean harm and I had to shoot them, I'm not giving you CPR either. I'm actually
I understand. I got 2 uncles that was in the Army. And I understand that, aspect as well. But again, if I don't know you and you are entering my place of dwelling where I'm comfortable, I'm safe, where my daughter is at, I don't have time to decipher what you're going through.
But you have to be, it's called muscle memory. So you have to have that situational awareness. Like you can't just shoot. I don't care if you that's the problem. People just shoot and you.
My trigger finger says otherwise.
No, I can't. You know what?
Listen,
I'm moving on this one because we don't. Just because you have the gun, don't mean you can just shoot. You still have to look. It's so many things that.
Just because you have the money, don't mean you should just buy another retic.
I don't. Did you see the retics I passed up on Jim Johnny?
But you got to that point after how many retics? How many retics you got? 8? Oh, okay. Here we are. But nothing.
That's 2 different scenarios. Those 2 don't even go together. Don't come at me, my retics. Right. Don't tell them don't come at y'all. I got mine from Pro Product last year in a week. So Pro Products right now is not making panels. I can tell you that. All of my heat panels came from Pro Products. Even last year, I don't know how you got an X-ray in a week because even last year they were taking that was still in COVID. Yep, they were taking 8 weeks or more to produce them. So maybe it's the size you need. I don't know what kind that you have, but the size for my 8-footers, we haven't been able. They literally stopped. And if you call them right now on the phone, they will tell you that you can leave a message, but you won't even get a call back. And I used to talk to them all the time. So what happened was the supply chain had them so far behind, so they stopped producing certain size heat panels. Did you all go vote for Pat? Mike said you all go vote for Pat yet? Dylan, what is it up, little bruh? Oh, that's Keith talking to Kaju. Keep forgetting Kaju, real name is Dylan. Come through tonight, Ken. If don't, you see in chat for Emily. I might get sick tomorrow before I come on your show. Ooh, dang. Y'all can't miss that one. That's going to be a good one. Fair warning, Dominique. Got to look out for my family. Nicole saying, take the TV, but drop my snakes before you. Yes. You coming to my house, that's your ass, Mr. Postman. KT Exotics. He killed the postman. Postman shouldn't be coming to your house. Yeah, see, Angie and Jeff over there, they can get away with almost anything. You dumb as I don't know whatever you go into the Popo house. You looking to die. and there's no explanation.
None needed.
Right, exactly. And look, and you gonna get some good administrative leave to deal with your emotional distress.
Too soon, Nicole. Too soon.
I'm serious. I'm just saying. Shit. Now you dumb. You see a police officer or know they officers and go in their house. There's no other choice but to die. Colorado has made day law. All you have to remember is the words, I was in fear of my life. Don't break into my house. in Colorado. So here's it's similar. So they'll ask you that are you safe? But that's why they tell you don't disturb the scene, even AJ, because they want to come for us concealed carry people or our people who legally have our guns, because the criminal doesn't care. They want to come and look at this scene to make sure that you really couldn't have saved that person. They're going to go through all the investigation to see if that person could have lived and have you administered administered aid. How did you demobilize the person? They're gonna go through all of that. And I think that I agree with. I'm more of a fool because my father was from the South, so I like how it is in the South. But I also think that when you have certain open carry laws, that people shoot too soon. I don't want my gun to be my first line of defense, even in my house. That doesn't have to be my first line of defense. But to what Dre is saying, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. And I know that no kids are coming in and out. I'm gonna be quicker to shoot. I'll be honest, than I would be if it was in daytime. And I can tell you that I'm quicker to shoot if I'm outside too. That's another thing. I think I have more composure in my house because I know how to get away. I know places I can go that nobody else knows is there. I have a line of defense. A line of protection in my house that I don't have outside in the public. I will probably be quicker to shoot out there if I think my life is in harm. I just don't ever want to do it. I always say that if, I want to protect myself, but I pray that I never be the one to have to take somebody else's life, because I am taking your life if I have to shoot. I am. I know that. Jeremy, where you live though, I can get it, because no one is stumbling over your house. Like, they're not accidentally, unless it's your neighbor. They're not accidentally stumbling into your house. I get that. The moral of this podcast is patience. Yes, Dom. This is the moral of which he has none. We ain't gonna talk about it.
Right. Delete that comment.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Oh, the men in here. The men. U.S. certified combat soldier here. See, Nicole's 100% right. Don't get my adrenaline started. I go from 0
but
to 100.
Look at what he put. Look at what he put.
Right, but that's how you're supposed to think. That's how they're trying to train us out here. Look at what think that way.
Nicole, look at what he put. Don't get my adrenaline started. If you break into my house, I didn't do shit to you. Now, if we out in public and I argue with you, that's understandable. But if you're breaking into listen here.
Saying, but part of effective gun ownership is being able to use that situational awareness to say, I didn't have to shoot, even if it's in your house. If the drunk man comes stumbling in and he don't have a gun, you didn't have to shoot him.
Like, I don't have time to figure it out. Look. I don't want to do nothing, but at the end of the day, I don't have time to decipher. And unfortunately, everybody was raised differently. Everybody's gone through different walks of life. So everybody got different training. Some people don't have no training. Cool, I get that. I know for me, I was raised, don't put yourself in certain situations, period. It is what it is. Because I can't be responsible for what you went through, but also you don't know what my reaction is going to be. And I'm a very firm believer in,
but that's
you can't control
right.
people's reaction. You said what?
Right. Everybody wasn't raised right. I just think I'm really sensitive to that whole part. I think you still have to, like, just because you have it. In fact, I think it's more responsibility when you have it outside your home. We talked about that a little bit before.
For sure.
That's why I constantly. So even for me, I like real gun training. Like, so I like to go into a simulator where they have like good guy, bad guys, and you really got to use that quick eye to determine, do I shoot or do I not? I like those type of situations because that's what real life is going to be.
But that's also what kind of makes me, because I've taken multiple like gun safety classes and multiple training classes for home protection, and they do those simulations here. When you go through those, and they do like old school where it just pop up, you don't have time to figure out. You just kind of think about. You just gotta make a split decision and do something. I ain't got time to figure shit out. I ain't got time.
Oh, look, I just don't want to be your attorney.
I already got an attorney. I already got an attorney, so I'm good. I'm cool.
I don't want to. That doesn't mean that she gonna have fun defending your crazy.
Listen, Nicole trying to make y'all think I'm John Wick. I ain't never shot nobody a day in my life. But
because no one apparently came into your house.
If you put me in that situation and it's I gotta choose between me and my daughter's life and your life, then fuck that. No, I'm not thinking about it.
Not no life.
We can talk about how good of a person you were on your obituary, but you made one wrong decision.
Wait a minute.
That's because Nicole don't know what happened to Kato.
What happened to Kato?
Because Nicole don't watch my stuff. Let me tell you.
All right, what happened to Kato? Now y'all got me worried.
Me and my brother never FaceTime. He calls me. I was out Saturday night late, celebrating the Michigan win. I was out till like 4 a.m. My brother never FaceTimes me. He FaceTimed me. He's like, bro, you need to come over here right now. I'm like, nigga, what the fuck is the problem? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say the N-word. He's like, bro, what the fuck is the problem? I'm like, I asked him that. My bad. And basically, he turns the camera around. I did. He turns the camera around.
I want everybody to stop being so sensitive about it, but go ahead.
This motherfucker broke out of his cage. And it's a pet store. He got into the rat enclosure. These are jumbo. I don't give Kato jumbo rats. He ate 2 jumbo rats and killed the other 2.
Go, Kato. Go.
So when I tell you, y'all know blood pythons are thick ass snakes regardless. This motherfucker, man. So this is graphic. So this is Kato. 1 rat here and 1 rat over here. He killed both of them, but look how fat he is. He ate the 2 other ones.
Well, at least he was able to kill them, and they didn't, wasn't able to take them over.
Bro, it was feeding day. He was like, nigga, you took too long. So I had to get rid of that cage, and he's in it's like a 4-foot Christmas tree tote right now with locking lids. And I'm like, bro, this is the last snake I expected that out of, because my brother, he likes reptiles.
Because you always calling him lazy, number one. You always say he's lazy. And
I covered that on my story. I was like, I will lie to y'all. I told y'all that blood pythons don't climb. He climbed up a rack to get in there. There's no lid on this rat cage because there's like this much room, and it's a tall tank. They can't get out. He climbed like 3 foot up this rack and I was just like, so I gave my brother like $50 to pay for these rats because I'm like, my bad. I felt so bad, but this motherfucker over here,
it was your brother's rats. My snakes are at my brother's store. That's that facility. Right, but they was his rats.
They were the rats he's selling to customers. Yes. And you over here cheering for the man. Yes. So I'm like, hey, and I go to pick him up. He was just like, I had to pick him up with 2 snake hooks because I didn't want him to regurgitate. This motherfucker bent this shit. Like, it was like, I was like, oh my God, bro. So
that is too
picture funny. This. Kato's cage is on this wall. The rats are on this wall. They're like 12 foot apart. That motherfucker got out of his cage, slithered all the way over there, climbed up like 2.5 foot, got in there, had the nerve to eat them, and then just chill in a water bowl.
That is
Kato, when he get full, he not gonna move. So I had time to go to Target, run some errands. I had to go get some Starbucks. You know what I'm saying? There's some Starbies in me. And then I went to the store, and he was just still there, like, "Hey, what's going on, man? Appreciate you." Like, so I guess that was his Thanksgiving.
I love when animals do shit like that. Like, that's why I like animals to explore. Like,
but
the Usual Suspects. Remember the day that we were all on Hair Down, and I had the pottery take out, and I'm like, look at this fool. He done went over there. He's on the door. He knows where he is. On the door, trying to turn the knob to get into the rat room. I love stuff like that. I absolutely love it. Tells you that these animals is way more smarter than we think they are.
And that was the whole point.
Lazy dummy.
That was the whole. You said what?
You thought he was a big lazy dummy. He showed.
Well, I thought you called me a big lazy dummy. I was about to be like, throw this thing. And that was the thing that I covered on my story. I was like, it goes to show. I tell people all the time, I'm no expert. I said, but you learn a lot from these animals, and when you think you know them or know a species, they will show you how wrong you are. And I was like, I owe y'all an apology because I told y'all blood pythons don't climb. But apparently, if they're food driven, He climbed one of those metal husky racks. And y'all know Kato not small. Kato looks small in pictures.
Blood python is fun.
But Kato's about 5 foot.
I might actually like it now.
This nigga turned into a fucking retic. I was like, because my brother, at first when he called me, he said Luther got out, the boa, the 6-foot boa. And I was like, oh, I know if he get out, he's wreaking havoc because he climbs, he's knocking shit over. He was probably going to eat some of the fish in the pond. I ain't got time for that. But luckily it was just Kato, and he sat his fat ass still.
X-ray, I haven't seen one of those real big ones in a long time. I don't know. I actually like pre-order my PVC.
Honestly, take out the word cheapest because they ain't gonna be cheap.
Right.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I know you're saying cheapest, but at this point with these prices, ain't no such thing. They're all gonna be pricey unless you build it on your own. But the price of, depending on where you at, the price of PVC or whatever you're using, PVC specifically has gone way up. PVC, when I first started, like when I built my racks, it used to be like $60 a sheet. It's like over $100 now.
So one of the good things that I'm still blessed with is, again, like with the rest, having relationships with the people that I purchased from before. The guy who builds my PVCs now in West Virginia has not increased his prices for me at all. Actually, I have 5 more to pick up, and which will be the last set for any even the future animals. So I would say if you like, I'll give you an example. Some of my custom enclosures that I only paid $850, $900 for are now $1,800, and that doesn't include shipping. I can't even imagine. And that was only 3 years ago when I ordered the first one. So
the guy I got built in my cage.
It's crazy.
It's like $700. I was like, and I can go pick them up. I don't got to pay for shipping.
Right. So that's how my
I'll take it. Yeah.
So I rent a U-Haul, and that's why I just let them make them like, I'll wait till we get like a accumulation of ones we gotta pick up. Pull them on the U-Haul, bring them back. Even if they sit, like say if it's like one of the youngest things not quite ready yet, it's already here. Already has a heat panel. My husband put the lights in it and everything, and the LEDs, and we good and we ready to go. But I will tell you that if you haven't already, like, people who buy PVC now and ordering through some of these larger companies and stuff like that, and you don't have anybody local to make it, even local people making it, it's still more than you would have spent before. It's insane. I don't know how you do it.
Not only are you paying out the ass, you got to wait months. At least with these bigger companies, the lead time is like 6 months at minimum.
Mark, you don't
I ain't got the time.
He's ignorant. He's ignorant.
Ooh.
All right. So thank you. Wait a minute. Hold on. Boom. All right. So Micah, you wasn't here in the beginning when he talked about my hair. Thank you, sis. Thank you. Thank you. See how nice it looks.
That's because you was talking trash.
He's a hater. Thank you.
I don't gotta be a hater. I don't need to be a hater.
Thank you.
All right,
so we got through all the comments.
Next time I come on here, I'm gonna wear my glasses and be nice. Y'all not about to have me out here just like y'all. I'm just a villain. I'm the nicest person ever. This is why Nicole picked me for this podcast. I'm a sweetheart.
I will say this. You really are.
Don't be cussing because your grandson right there. We see him.
That's right. So you better be nice to my grandma. So you better be nice to Pooh. Show him your fist.
Why? Are you gonna shoot me?
You can show him your fist. You can show him your fist. See, he's the passive aggressive one. You can show him your fist.
You the passive aggressive one.
You show him your new gun. I don't buy my grandkids guns, but my husband did. So I watch all these videos, y'all, because I like to be, a sharpshooter. And yesterday he talking about turn this on. I was like, what? He said the iPad. And he's standing there taking proper gun stance and everything with his little Nerf gun. I said, you gotta watch what kids look at. You want Jaden?
You ready?
Oh, come on. We're ready to wrap it up. So you gonna say hi to everybody before we say bye? You just want me? I'm taking too long? Okay. Thank you, Keys. My bro said the same thing. Thank you, everybody.
He at work. He bored.
Look, the glasses make me see, Dom, because I swear I can't see. I never thought my eyes would be this bad. I really can't see without my glasses. So if y'all don't see me have glasses on, I have some type of contact in. I really can't see. So if you want to get me, Just take away my glasses.
Ain't nobody gonna get you. I'm being the cut. Like who won it? Nicole, get behind me. I got you. If we ever go somewhere and your glasses break, I'm like, I got you.
I'm like, you go. Ray go first, right?
I got you.
Everything. Tom, that's not Tom. You got to say situational awareness. Say it. We talked about it last night.
I'm very aware. I just know in this situation, it's either you or me.
That's I mean, at the end of the day, that's the truth. Thank you, Dawn.
She's talking about me because I made the comment.
Oh, I'm sorry. Take it back, Dawn. No, I'm joking. I got a light chase.
I said I was gonna wear glasses,
y'all. You know what? I was going to do that until I watched this movie, Maki, and it was really crazy. It's a crazy movie. I know it's not real, but the lady started to see stuff that she didn't see before when they did that to her eyes. And actually, in real life, a newscaster took her life because of some eye surgery she had and how bad it bothered her. So I actually stop looking at that. But with that said, y'all, this was a great topic, a great live. We appreciate all of y'all who definitely are home after the holiday and joining in with us. Remember to go and make your vote for Snakes and the Fat Man. You can do that daily.
Go vote for
too much. He's way too much, bro.
This is why she chose me for the podcast. She specifically said you will bring personality to the podcast.
I said your ignorance. No.
Wow, shots fired.
No, I honestly think again, I've always said that. Like, first of all, I have to, when we talk about him being nice, I have to give him credit because, like, a lot of you guys credit Gershon because that's who really like helped you guys to really set your YouTube forward. And Gershon, don't get me wrong, has been helpful to me as well. But I was a year before that, and like literally, like Dre, before he even knew who I was, I would ask some of the dumbest questions, even down to the camera setting and everything y'all see me use. It's literally a copycat of I'm getting what, and then not only do he tell me what to buy, he gotta tell me how to assemble it and use it. So he come a long way. So whenever he compliments my videos, it really makes me smile. Because like it's so many things. If you look at my old videos, y'all, if y'all ever and look at my videos now, it's night and day. And I have to credit the brother because like it was things I wouldn't even think of that Dre just always is like he's been there. So he's really like a little baby brother to me. And that's what actually if you see how we get along, that's how I get along with my youngest brother too. Like me and Gerard and me and Dre are absolutely the same. And you know what? Extra wrong what happened when he got shot. The first person who was there in her nightgown, even though it had a hole in it, was me. The person who gave him, what wasn't going to happen was he was not going to die. I was going to make sure that. So we joke a lot. And then the other part what's fun is that we can really say things and mean some of it and we're not offended. Like, no. I love the fact that he can keep it 100% real with me. I can keep it 100% real with him. And then there's no offense. Like, it's really cool to have just like, someone like that in your corner. Like, even with the cancer thing, Dre is a good father. Like, he's with his kid, his daughter all the time. And I know Saturday is one of those days. And so I asked, but like for him to be enthusiastic to hold that down for me, it means a lot. So although I give him a hard time, y'all, really, he
I wouldn't feel right if you didn't.
Man love.
It was a couple times when I heard from you, I'm like, you ain't picked on me in 2 weeks. Is you okay? Like, y'all wouldn't think that me and Nicole we met in February at Hamburg. And what happened? But that's what I'm saying. Oh, but that's kind of when I feel like our bond really just kind of went boom, and then we was at Tinley the next month. But at Hamburg, after we left that nasty ass Chinese restaurant, we was in a parking lot.
It wasn't nasty. It was good.
It was booty hole. We was in the parking lot. And what happened? We was going over your camera. Yeah. We set up FaceTime, and it was like an hour and a half. We was on FaceTime, going over settings on this camera.
Antoine told me to buy that camera. I had the camera for over 2 years and never knew how easy it was to use. I never knew how. Remember, Dre, I was like, well, how do I get it from the camera to LumaFusion? You were cracking up. Like, y'all, I'm telling you that, like, literally, this community support, like when you just find those people who really do it and it's no angle, you know, they're not asking you for this or, you know, I'll do it for this amount and stuff. No. I will tell you that he does it. Another person, Bosa, I be trying to pay Bosa for all the stuff that he does for me, and he won't accept it. Like, you know, he won't give you your cash app, none of that. I tried to sneak and get it one time and email Elaine, and then I realized that he is actually running Creme de la Crunch. That was one of the funniest things ever. I was telling Elaine that I wanted to can you tell me how you pay Bosa so I can try to send Bosa something? And he sent me by LOL. This is
I'll
Bosa.
tell you another shout out, Elias. He shares everything. Bosa as well. Everything. So definitely.
And don't forget Dawn.
Dawn be like 60-40 with me. So, you know what I'm saying? You know.
She 100 with me. She 100 with me. I'm just
she alright. But you know, she mess with me if she in a good mood, which is rare. But
just so much love. And then of course, you know, like I
she's
said,
still cool though.
So many people that are just amazingly awesome. And I try to support everybody. That's why I try not to miss a chat. Dre, where you? Oh, he from Ohio, but he came up there one time. Now I told him before he came. Let me tell you the story, Jeremy. Hamburg. I said, look, you gonna drive 6 hours to Hamburg, bruh? And it ain't no Tinley. It ain't RBC any kind of way. And I knew he was going to be disappointed. Like, Hamburg is big shit to people up here. But if you travel to all the other shows, and it's big shit because it's one of the only shows that we have in the Maryland area. Well, it's in Pennsylvania that has venomous. So if you like venomous, it's definitely a place to go. But I knew Dre was going to be like, what in the hell did y'all have me drive up here 6 hours for? So
that's why I stayed overnight, because I'm like, I'm not making a day trip from 6 hours. And then I had got in at midnight. So I was like, the hotel I was at was nice. It was just far as hell from the show. It was like 45 minutes.
Yeah, well, so I will tell you this, Dre, when Jeremy has the barbecue, that's worth driving for. You can stay. That's worth driving for. I had such a good time. And like I said, the PA breeders remind me of the Florida breeders. It's a real, like, tight knit.
What part of PA? Because I'm supposed to go back for.
He's not matter
of fact, me after this, we need to chop it up for a minute about some stuff. But I have to. I've been trying to do a little more traveling, because that's the one thing about me. It don't matter how many followers I got. I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna converse with some people, because that's just who I am. I don't look at myself as this big influencer, because I get too many people that hop in my DMs like, "Oh my gosh, I'm glad you're responding." Well, I'm not a robot. Of course I'm gonna respond. So I would love to meet as many people as I possibly can, for sure. Okay. Oh,
yeah, I would say
Amish country.
It's worth it. I would say definitely. That's in July. Definitely worth the trip. I had a great time, and I met some really good relationships there, and then people that I was already dealing with, I get to meet them in person. It became like such a deeper connection. And also, you know, I love when, you know, the wives come out and support the husbands and vice versa. And we just had a really good time. It was such a cool time there. Xena wanted to kill me, but that's a whole nother story. But I do love my carpet. I love my carpet, y'all. Y'all, I know y'all heard me say, I think my carpet is going to end up being my second love to my retics. I can't believe I think so.
So y'all know I just got 4 new snakes. So I might have found a female for Khalifa.
Wait a minute, hold on. There was no carpet in the 4 new snakes. What are you talking about? What female?
No, she'll be a fifth.
So it's a fifth snake. It's a fifth snake. Be clear. Be clear. You talking about me? I have not bought anything since Tinley. Anything.
Okay, were you supposed to buy anything at Tinley?
No, but I didn't buy anything.
Shut it up.
Stick to the women. Don't be trying to switch it up. Like, because that's a different answer. I appreciate you all. This was a very fun one. We'll put out our new topic for next week. I know it's Mondays, but this is worth tuning into. And I will tell you that we do put a lot of thought in. We always know it's going to end on some other bullshit. We say that. That's normally in the thumbnail.
Shout out to all my gun owners, my Second Amendment people.
Yeah, so let's be clear. And I want to say this, like, men do it naturally. And I say this on my personal page all the time. It is not unnatural for women to be gun holders, concealers, and be good at using it. So I really believe in practicing. Like I was saying to Dre, like even situational. I think Dawn said that too. Dawn said she liked to go into those assimilated things because for women, and I was just talking about this the other night, like when I was saying, and that's on, I know this is off on a tangent, y'all, but you know, that's my second passion right now. Is, you know, outside of reptiles is my gun safety and collecting more guns, because I, for a long time, felt like I only needed a couple, but now I've realized I need multiple for different situations. I will say that in the world we live in today, it used to be where there were like, what you call it, codes, where you didn't mess with women, you didn't mess with children. One of the things I do love about Maryland's law, and I can tell you this is probably one of the things I wouldn't hesitate. For example, if you saw a child actually being kidnapped, you can utilize that gun to save that child. And as women, we are mothers first. Even if you never birthed a child, I'm telling you right now, that maternal instinct kicks in. There's so many things that happen in the world today that did not happen years ago, that every woman should feel the need to be. Your husband can't always protect you. Sometimes your husband could get got. What are you going to do after that? You know? And that's one of the things that my husband always said to me. You know, I'm going, but you know, you never know what I'm going into. You got to be able to back that thing up. So I will say it is so many courses out there, online and offline, that's training you the law, because that's more important, because you can go to prison for using your illegally carrying gun. It teaches you the law, and it teaches you technique and situational awareness. And I say, even for your children, fortunate for me, I grew up around guns. My father was big on them. So I wasn't terrified of them, because sometimes for some women, it's going to be your very first time touching one. But get over it and protect yourselves, because the fools out there are fools. And you just want to make sure that you get back home to your family. And a lot of women jogging and things like that today, if they just was protected, the situation could have been different. So that's just my end of the spiel on that one. You know, you're not too cute to carry your gun. There's pretty Gucci bags with holsters and stuff like that. Trust me, I don't look. It's different things for different type of clothes that you can wear. If you like your little tight dresses and all that stuff, you got holsters for that. It's ways to conceal, and it's ways to protect yourself. And because the laws are changing, allowing us to do it, like for Maryland, we couldn't do this for years. So I'm just so happy. You had to have a good reason to conceal. Now there's no reason. The only reason you need to protect yourself, and you need to take the proper courses. So with that said, I appreciate you all. I love my brothers, all of you, my PA brothers, my Florida brothers, my usual suspects.
Everybody everywhere. Colorado, PA, Dre Ohio.
It's like literally, it's almost like a blood brother. I mean, honestly, like seriously, I would shoot somebody for you.
Same.
I appreciate all of y'all. But I tell you, just this morning has been a lot of fun. My grandson is like trying to get his time back, like giving me the looks and stuff. He probably want pancakes, because he told me, but this is funny that he told me the other day, Dre, my husband came out and brought me coffee and McDonald's. He brought me a McDonald's biscuit. And my grandson went and say, "What you buy that for? What you got McDonald's for?" I'm eating pancakes. I was like, "Oh, well, I guess I'm ready to get up and cook pancakes." He was not eating. His whole face.
He said, "You better get in there and get the McFlippin'."
Right. He was like, "What you got that for?" Spoon cell. My favorite thing about Monday mornings, you guys are doing a great job. Thank you, Ray. Thanks, bro. Thank you. I love that we decided to do this. And this was Key's idea. Key said The first thing he messaged me after I said I was retiring, it was like, sis, you need to add another day on the podcast. You got to do another podcast. And I was like, oh, that's a good idea. Let me reach out to Dre. And I wanted to be something like this where, it's not as formal as Reptiles and Cocktails. We kind of talk about everything here. These conversations go left all the time.
Listen, I mean, but that's the best part about it is we gonna start talking reptiles. But we know outside of reptiles, we all got different lives. We all into different things. So, who knows? I'm sorry, these comments is too much right now. Dominique is being a problem.
Oh, he is a problem.
Oh, snap. I can't.
Oh, my God. Link for Steaks and the Fat Man is right there. Vote for Pat. If that's who you're voting for. This is a tough one for me, Pat. I know you saw my message. Y'all know I just keep it real. I want 2 people to win, right? But I also want one person to win. And that's just because that person has been doing so much for so long. And I just think it would be kind of cool. I think it would be nice if they just did like a tie. They shouldn't have put all of y'all in the same category. It's tough for people. It's hard out here for a pimp. But I will say that I voted for the 2 people, Pat being one of them. And what I do is I vote for each one of y'all every other day. I have to. The other person is Reggie Urban Jungle. Reggie actually is the first person I actually purchased outside of Patrick in Massachusetts. My snakes from. So my black pastel come from Pet Does It Ghost come from Reggie. Reggie also is the first to have breeding conversations with me and try to teach me about the things to identify. And I do think that, me and Reggie met from Bro. And pretty much that relationship, and I wanted to make that clear to him. The moment that I left there, I wasn't leaving him. I think he's a great person in the community, but so are you, Pat. Pat, I think you are just the fun, first of all, absolutely hilarious. You know what a podcast would be amazing? If Pat and Danny from DTMG had a podcast, that shit would be hysterical. But Pat just always show love as well. And I know that it's hard for you guys because I know that Reggie supports you and you support Reggie. So this is going to be fun to see who wins. What I don't like is that I do already see that there are some politics in it. You know what I mean? And we just got to vote enough to knock those politics out. That's just my theory. But that's it. Missouri here, loving everyone here. Melinda, you are awesome. You would that was a great meet too in Tinley. I gotta do a little thing for me and Dre for this podcast. My video for Tinley for Reptiles and Cocktails. I love it.
One of these days we're gonna do a podcast in person with Nicole not too busy for me.
I ain't even gonna go there. If it's gonna be in Ohio, it's gonna have to wait until it warm up. But I got.
I'm talking about like if we meet up at a show, we need to have some type of setup. That would be dope.
We was gonna kind of try to do that the last time, but there's so many things happen last minute. Like so many things.
You were busy.
Me?
You was out gallivanting with your husband and such. So.
Gallivanting.
Well, like I get back and see the pictures. I was like, so that's where the fuck she was at. Oh, okay.
So my husband, look, let me tell you, my husband loves Tinley. I'm telling you, he loves going to Tinley. And I love it because I was going to say, and I love to see him like so down like that. Like, cause my husband is a snob, like in a certain way. People think my husband don't talk.
He had me cracking up at the bar.
Oh, I'm telling you,
bar,
so that's what I'm saying. Like,
let me go ahead and get another one.
That's my vacation husband. Like, we going to turn up.
He get another one. Here comes Gershon. Gershon was like, oh, Nicole about to have fun tonight.
No, that was that damn Antoine. It was Antoine.
No, Gershon.
Oh, Gershon said it. Wait, no, this was Antoine. We was leaving. Somebody said, all right, y'all, we ready to go to bed. Antoine said, yeah, go to bed. We both was tore up. Antoine said, okay, yeah, all right, they going to bed.
Right. Hey, after y'all left, it turned into a party.
I was watching. I told you, I was like, damn.
Jeremy, Brassman Reptiles, that dude is a clown. Him and Gershon had me cracking up all night.
I love
It had me cracking up all night. Good time.
love me Jeremy. I love it. So my first meet was that's one of the people I met when I first went to Nerd. Like Jeremy was there, all of them was there that day. And Jeremy, I wanted to spend some specific time with Jeremy and Rob, and Kevin made that happen. So we actually had a really good time today.
I just recently got introduced to Rob. Super cool because I got the scrubs now.
I love Rob.
So I've been talking to him about. I tried to get one of his scrubs. He was like, "No, I'm holding all these back." I was like, "Damn," but I ended up getting 2 scrubs. So I talked to him.
Okay.
Me and Jeremy text all the time, so he's real cool. And then we Facebook friends and everything. So yeah, just meeting them was dope. So that's, man, I'm telling. If you have not been to Tinley, come to Tinley. It's like, for me personally, it's like
to any other show. I would say that
it's like a big meet and greet. Like the animals is cool. The animals is cool, but you meet so many people you talk to on a daily, and then you be walking around like, oh shit, there's animals here too. Like it's a big ass party. It's fun.
People bothering him at work, Dre. They bothering him.
Can't do anything for themselves.
Danny and Pat will be hysterical. I think they should do a test run, Jeremy. We might have to have them too, just like take over one of our podcasts or something one day. Like Jeremy and Pat and Danny take over. That will be hysterical. That'll probably be more funny next to Mom Juice Mondays. I'm telling you. So Mom Juice Mondays, the last one with Kurtwood, I was in here in tears. I was cleaning, but I was here in tears, and I was trying to get work done and not be in the chat, but you couldn't help but be in the chat. It's just so many awesome podcasts out there, so many awesome people. I try to support so many people. I love Sexing and Finessing. I love Levi. I think his energy on that podcast and he is a genuine, somebody just said a genuine spirit for the community. I love that show as well.
I like the vibe of a different podcast too. It's just like different flavors and everybody got something different. It's like a melting pot, honestly. Everybody got something different to offer. So I don't catch every podcast, but I do check in with everybody, you know what I'm saying? So I try to, dibble and dabble, you know what I mean? So, but I do be around. I do hear. I'm over here.
You be doing your own stuff. He be making his own little empire. Dre's probably the most paid person on all formats than any of us in this damn chat. I wish. On you. Do your thing. I'm just trying to do more reels to get there, right?
Listen, that's why people be like, you're a YouTuber. Listen, I'm not getting that real YouTuber money like some of them other people getting. That's getting invited to all these other events and stuff. I ain't getting that. I'm literally doing this shit by myself, and I'm taking my own creative mind and just making what I can and putting it out there, and people support it, and I appreciate it. So, but I'm trying to help everybody else get there as much as I can too. So I'm always down to answer questions. I don't mind.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. I live for this. I mean, I would tell you, this is my job. Like, I really look at it as a job. I want to continue to grow this platform. So continue, guys, to support me. Share it out. Share this video after we're done. My goal is to definitely, the reptiles is, I don't believe in one stream of income, though. And as long as someone is willing to pay me to do anything, pay them, I'm going to put it out there. To each his own, but I've never been one who I'm positioned today because I never believed in one stream of income. And that's one of the things. Don't let nobody tell you nothing about marrying people from the streets. My husband, entrepreneurship started in the hood. And I always say that it's one of the things that complement us because he's the best saver. Out of the two, because I'm not a saver. I believe that, my theory is if I die tomorrow, I want to make sure that I've done everything I wanted to do. And my husband but, what if you don't die? We need to be able to live too. So having that person to support you in that way. But when it comes to this grind, he is another person. Like, my husband don't have to be here, but trust me, he's 110. And y'all who know me know that. Everything you see behind me is him. Every new creation. Apparently, he just ordered some new type of. This is going to change, and it's going to be some type of new paint wall. It's a jungle wall, and stuff like that. He's very creative with that kind of stuff, and he just loves what I'm doing. And what makes my heart melt, Dre, is every time, like even when we doing a podcast and we out of the state, like I get up 5 o'clock in the morning, he'd be like, "Babe, I'm so proud of you," like because old Nicole ain't getting up to bed at 5 o'clock in the morning, but. he'd be like, I'm so proud of you. Like, you really focus, and I'm so proud of what you're doing. And that means the world to me because I knew it had to be.
I want to be happy for you.
It's not easy for him to hear me say, I'm going to stop working. You know what I mean? I'm going to retire now, but 100% supportive.
I want to be happy for you. I really do. But us single folks out here ain't got that. So for all y'all that's in a nice
some of y'all who are single don't have to be single. I'm just saying. saying.
You know what, Nicole?
I'm just saying. You've seen when the Obamas talk about their relationship, and you hear Michelle say, for a long time it wasn't 50-50, it was 70-30, it was 80-20. You young people got to put in the work to get to there.
You know my situation, so hey, I mean,
yeah, but I mean, maybe that's not the but there is others, you know, and you just can't.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
You can't be so hard, and I ain't talking about my damn sister.
I'm not talking about your sister either. I'm just saying it's just nice to have somebody who support what you do. That's all. That's all. You know, so I don't got that.
But you know, they're out there, and I just don't want any of my brothers to limit themselves, because I believe that beside every great woman, there's a great man. Beside every great man, there's a great woman. Now, I'm not saying that all that has to end in marriage, because marriage is not for everybody. If you believe in the word as it is written in Christ, but I do believe that those are married and they believe in it and how it is written. Everything in my life, you know, I think that the Bible promised me that, and I wasn't always the woman that I am today. I always make that comment, and my husband, he don't know, because he always think, yeah, I'll be the first. Anybody who know me would tell you that Gavin Tisdale changed me.
Listen, I don't even know that side of you, Nicole, and I already know this is not the woman you used to be out there doing splits at parties. When you said that, I was like, look, we need to let the people go. We had 2 hours.
Damn, who told me that? You and my sister was talking too much. But yes. Yes. I was not the same girl. But yeah, we're gonna let the people go. But I appreciate you all. Thank you for hanging out.
Everybody have a great week.
Don't forget, if you have any topics you want us to cover on the money, just inbox me or Dre,
or me,
and we'll cover them. Yeah. We'll cover them. Can y'all do an episode about this, though? About marriage? And marriage and not marriage?
I'm going to be in the comments for that episode.
I would encourage you. See, I don't know how far did Facebook go. Go to the beginning. Yeah, okay. So I met my husband when I started my Facebook, probably like a few months after. But if you go to 2009, up into 2009, I don't know if it's 2008 is on there. 2009 is when you'll start to see me change. Even how I dress started to change.
I was a junior in high school, cuz.
Oh, fuck you. I don't care. Damn, junior in high school. Golly. That's what
I graduated early though. I wasn't 18 when I graduated though.
Like, that makes it even better. Anyway. Golly,
you don't look your age though.
That's when y'all make me feel old. The only one who can hang with me is Keys.
Listen,
Keys
when you told me,
gonna make me feel old.
When you told me you was 54, I was tripping. I was like, you do not look no 54.
I didn't say no 54.
Okay,
I said 49. I'll be currently 50. And just for everybody, I already told my husband I want a massive 50th birthday party. I don't know how, when, or where yet. I don't know if I want like to take a trip or something. But I would love for, you know, those who love me to be a part of that, because, you know, being 50 is a big deal. You are half a century.
You know, I'll make a trip for that.
So I'm just saying, I'll let y'all know that my birthday is June 12th, but I'm going to let everybody know once he finalizes everything. But I want a big shindig. I want a party bus. I'm going to be doing splits at my 50th. You better know that. My mother already know that she going to cut up at the party.
We're going to sing happy birthday to you. You know what I'm saying?
To you. You're so stupid.
All right, y'all. Y'all got to go.
Hates the hell out of him. I have great carpet. My carpet is amazing. I can't say that. All right. I'm proud woman to be 53. That's right. We lived, y'all.
All right, you holding the people hostage now.
I'm ready to get out of here. It's been real. This podcast is supposed to be an hour. That's how 30 minutes when we first started, right? Then it went to an hour. Now it's 2 hours. But it's okay.
This was Nicole's podcast today. You know what I'm saying? It's not a bad thing.
You made the subject.
I mean, yeah, but you had the mic, like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with it, though.
The mic is not even plugged up. Wait a minute, hold on. Don't let that broke nigga excuse you messy. All right, I'm gonna put my thing down.
You're the reason I have a cough. No, it's that liquor. All right, bye, y'all. Girl.
All right, y'all. Bye. Peace. Love you all. See y'all next Monday. Send us some topics. We out.